Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 67 of the Bonehead podcast, where we talk all things Blood Bowl. Welcome back, I'm Ben, and once again I'm joined by Blood Tithe Ben.
Hello, hello.
Or almost joined by Blood Tithe Ben in the classic way of the internet these days. No. So Ben has been replaced with a snotling, a very well painted snotling. But, you know, you're looking pretty good, Ben. Lost some hair. Colouring's not so great.
Yeah, looking better than usual. One of those days.
Definitely looking less like a German fighter pilot. Which is my go-to description for you. Like, which Ben is it? I'm like, definitely the German one.
As long as it's described like not Nazi Ben, that's the different one.
Luftwaffe Ben, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. One day, when there's some appropriate STRs for World War, some STL files for World War II stuff, we'll get you playing some. You'd go Russian though, wouldn't you?
Probably would, yeah.
Probably would. You probably would. Although apparently in the group chat today, I feel like the guys had a bit of an intervention for me today on the Wobble chat, Ben, about the way I play Blood Bowl as every team like a Skaven team, and that all my players are there to be sacrificed all the time. And I was like, I feel a bit. Well, you know, it's just not nice to point out the truth sometimes, is it?
It really is. Yeah, really gun-ho with those teams.
Oh, I am so bad. Like, I think I've just committed to a playstyle now. Like, I'm like, no, I'm going to sacrifice everybody if it means getting. I don't know. It might just be because we played so much sevens in like a resurrection style format that I forget that I need these dudes for the next week. That's what went horribly wrong with my Slan team. Like, I start really well in leagues. And then when my dudes start dying, I don't know what to do with it, and it's all really bad. Anyway, how are you, man? How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good. Going to be a pretty chill episode today. Taking it easy.
Absolutely is. I've even got a beer today. It's been that kind of week. The sun's out, though, which is nice. Have you managed to enjoy any of the sunshine this week?
Yeah, I read about half of it. Half the Spike magazine in the sun the other day. It was lovely.
Oh,
really nice.
That's brilliant.
Like summer.
That's really good. I wasn't so lucky as to do that, but I did go for a pub lunch for the first time in 75 years. We went out for Tiff's mum's birthday, went to the White Buck in Burley, which is a really lovely place in the middle of the forest. And
lovely.
I've been told I need to email them about wedding venues, but I am actually going to also email them about Blood Bowl venues, because if they've got some sweet function rooms, it's honestly, man, it's a superb venue. It's like in the forest, they've got rooms. Like we got Beachhead at the beginning of next year, but we got like nothing later on. I don't know, man. We could like see if we can get a function room, host a summer New Forest tournament.
Yeah, now we've got hope.
Hope is all you need. Anyway, like Ben said, it's going to be a pretty chill episode today because Death Zone, Spike 12, the teams, even some dice have been cited, which is wonderful. There's not a lot going on in the Kickstarter world. In fact, there's only one, and that will be finished by the time the podcast airs, which is the vampire ones with the Hungry Troll, I think, with the dodgy weapon removal ones. Which it's fine, but as it's going to be kind of done and dusted by the time the episode comes out, we're probably not going to bother having a look at that. Vortice have been spoiling loads more stadium stuff, but bless them, there's just a 10-second video with a different style of stadium each time, and they look really cool, but we need to know more. We need to know prices. We need to know, what level of STL we're going to do. We need to know how long it's going to take Ben to print a stadium for every one of us, basically. So there's probably just nothing news-wise to chat about. So we're going to go and we're going to talk about hobby and stuff, and then we're going to move on to looking at one section of Death Zone. There's a ton of stuff, and if you want to know more of a detailed what's inside the book, check out our last episode where we chat about it for like an hour, and we kind of dive into stuff. If you want to know more about the wizards, check out Top 5 Friday from last week, which is the top 5 wizards from Death Zone. And if you want to know more about mercenaries, we chatted about that last week, and there's an entire series on YouTube where we break down each one of the mercenaries and find some of the most broken combinations, which is delicious. So we thought, actually, we like League. I'm apparently very bad at League, but we like League. So we're going to look at the sponsorships, because sponsorships did exist in the last Blood Bowl edition. It's going to be one of the first things that you can kind of sneak into Blood Bowl 2020 in your local league. So we're going to take a bit of a deep dive into that. And then, Ben, what are we going to do after that?
Well, yeah, we're going to have a league game. It's round 6 of our lockdown league that we're playing. And yeah, we happen to be partnered off against each other. We thought, well, let's do that on the episode.
Two birds, one stone. So we're going to be playing our week 6 wobble match. So we've gone with some secret teams, although I custom built the Black Orc team and then Human Nobility team, reverse engineered them into 2016 rules. The only thing missing is running pass, which I personally don't think has made that much difference. And Ben is running which obscene secret team are you running, Ben?
The classic wear team. Yeah, love this team. I've never ran them in league, so I've been trying them out, and yeah, I mean, guess when we get to games, I can talk about them because they really picked up.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right. That was a beautiful segue, Ben. Let's move on to hobby and games. And we're back. So, hobby games purchases, I feel like, is basically the bulk of this segment. Over to you, Ben. Games, let's start there. I think it's important that we start there. Have you played any games recently?
Yeah, I think we've had 2 rounds since our last episode, would make sense.
It's been 2 weeks since my last Blood Bowl confession. I think it's 2 rounds. Yeah,
I played against Ian with his High Sea Slayers, and that was an interesting game.
Bloody Slayers.
Yeah, it's a really cool dwarf team though. I think we've talked about it a few times, but yeah, it's all Slayers really. Like an all Slayer dwarf team, and yeah, it was an interesting game. I think the dice were definitely in my favour, but I made several misplays in excitement, I think, during that game. It ended up being a 1-1 draw, but it was really good fun. I don't think there were any too lasting casualties from it either. I had a missing... I think you... No, he did, yeah.
Yeah, you broke Sloop Dog's hand.
I did. Is that the ball and chain?
It was the ball and chain. So yeah, you took it out ready for my match. Now I did a very silly thing, and I looked at Ian's roster, saw the ball and chain, and then immediately was like, right, I'm going to kick the ball and just force, and take the ball and chain out and everything like that. I completely missed the little M by the name. So I ended up, did I kick or did I receive? I ended up receiving. I was going to receive to force a quick touchdown to get it off the pitch, and ended up receiving with him not having a secret weapon. I was like, oh no. That was a big misplay. Anyway, you drew with him 1-1?
Yeah. I mean, Ian's really good. He really got some good plays in there. I got very greedy with a lot of it, because I was wary that they're quite an offensive team. And so managed to steal the ball, run my cat to where I assumed was safe, because I forgot the Slayers are a bit faster than normal dwarves.
They really
he was able
are.
to blitz them.
And he's got a ton of strength as well.
Yeah. Really, it really is.
2 strength 4 frenzy dauntless juggernaut dudes with movement 5. It's filthy.
Yeah, it's hard to go up against. I think the bear did quite well to keep him at bay, from what I remember. But yeah, it is, strength 4 frenzy is a nightmare.
So I'm going to be doing a special team Sunday about the pirate team coming out this Sunday, which will be tomorrow as the podcast comes out, because I played against it this week as well. And genuinely, it's like if Norse and Dwarf had a baby, this would be the team. Like, yeah, everyone's got block, but they're dwarves, so everyone's a bit slower, but they've got better armor. And those Slayers, the big strength 4 Slayers, are basically just movement busted with a slight better skill. Oath Warreners. So you got those 2 frenzy strength 4 pieces, but their frenzy strength 4 comes with jugs and 1 less movement.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, was I wrong? Do they have frenzy?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
Strength 4. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I know. I'm looking at a runner who's strength 4.
Oh yeah, there was that runner. There was that guy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have really done without that one. No, cool. So you won all against Ian. Then you played another game, and you played another game last night, Ben.
This was horrible. Yeah, I played against Richard, who's one of the nicest coaches you could ever know, running his no reroll squig team in this league, and he's not doing too well with them, is he?
Oh
say the
man, I
least.
feel so bad. Like he is just all about the fun. He's gone for this mad team, no rerolls, all carnage. I killed his Mangler, which is a big ball and chain dude, first time round. What did you do, man?
Yep. I killed the second one.
Oh, the poor guy.
Another dead.
Oh, Rich has saved up for like 6 rounds to replace it. I may not have killed it. It may have killed itself. I don't know. I think it might have been me. But yeah, so he saved up, got it, and then it died again. He is cursed with that team.
Yeah. I think the thing is with the ball and players, isn't it? Like an automatic injury roll when you knock them down. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
they do
automatically
go out
breaks
quite
armor
fast.
and a minimum of a knockout, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
that's what I did with them. You see, I wrestled them down to the ground with the superior wrestle of the bodyguards. So I was like, right, 2 dice with wrestle, pop him down. That's all I need. He's gone, and then yeah, it was
That's pretty good.
that was my plan with that one, was to remove that, and then so I also played against Ian. I did lose. I did the slight mistake of receiving the ball to begin with when he didn't have a secret weapon. I was like, cunning plan here. He's got 11 players. One of them a secret weapon. Let's receive the ball. Just go down, score in 2 to 3 turns. Boom, he's down to 10 players. And then let's just go for a single breaking of the serve. Well, I got the early touchdown to second turn. And ironic, given that I've just done a video about the 2-1 grind. And then, turn 8 touchdown. So close that first half. Like, literally, he had to dodge, blitz to get the ball carry out and everything on the last turn. So I'm really happy with how close it was. And then it was a turn 16 touchdown for him in the second half, I think. So it was a really close game. But I suffered 2 casualties in the first 2 turns, I think.
Oh, that's rough.
And I've made a really big breakthrough with Nobility. So this is the first time we've run, league games. I played some single games with them, very different. And this is what we were talking about, like running stuff in a league and how incredibly different it is. With the Nobility, like, one of their positionals is the same price as 2 of their linemen. And I went heavy on positionals. Basically, Ben, I went with the 2 thrower, 2 blitzer, 4 bodyguards, 3 muggles and 2 rerolls. I was like, no, I'll go rerolls. I'll go 2 rerolls, get leader early, and that'll be fine. And I've got all my positionals. I actually don't think that's the right thing to do. I think dropping 1 or maybe the extra thrower and maybe the bodyguard to replace them with a couple of extra linemen is much better. Because I just missed that bench the whole season. Like, boom, a guy's gone and you're just down players, and the linemen are rubbish. Like, Fend is brilliant fun, but they're only strength 3. They've got no combat skills, and they're armor 7. They're armor 8+. So they get punched, they go out. And I've been running down to 8 and 9 players most of the season, and I'm like, actually, a couple of extras would have helped me. Because against Ian, like, I ended up being 7 players, sort of, I don't know, maybe turn 3 in the second half. The thing is, it's not like I would have had 9 players instead, but actually, the more players you got on the pitch, the less multiple die blocks get. It snowballs. If you lose 1 player, they get an extra 2 die block a turn. If you lose 2 players, they get the extra 2 die blocks a turn, and it snowballs. So if you can score and then bring on dudes and have 11 again in the start of the second half, the next drive, you're gonna suffer less casualties. So I was saving up for an ogre, and I just went and bought 3 linemen instead. I was like, no, to hell with this. I think I've got 12 or 13 players on my team. I should probably know that. Because I was like, actually, you need the bench. You massively need the bench. And one of my throwers got murdered as well. I've got 13 players now, Ben. Now, 4 of them aren't werewolves and 2 of them aren't bears like your team. So it's going to be really interesting. But I'm
wondering So with Nobility, the linemen are rubbish. How would you compare them to like Nurgle Rotters? Would you rather have a Rotter?
What in 2020?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I think the benefit you get from the Rotters versus the linemen is they're 10k cheaper. So you could have, you would have 12 or 13 players on a starting roster if you had those Rotters instead of the linemen. But I love Fend. Fend in move 6 is great. Like Frenzy, it shuts down. Dwarves, it's great against because Fend don't follow up. and they end up with just their blitz every turn, which saves you quite heavily. So I'm a big fan of them. I think they're overcosted at 45k.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's like the other sort of garbage tier lineman, cheap lineman is like a rotter unless you're going stunty. I think stunty would make these guys way better, but obviously they're not.
I'd rather have a hobgoblin or a thrall, 100%.
Yeah,
6'3", 3'7", no skills. That Edge is, well, you see, the thing is, like, I think when we talked about nobility, we were like, well, actually what you want to do is you want to take all your bodyguards, all your throwers, all your blitzers to get your Edge up. You know what, you don't really need 8 players with Edge 3+, because only one of them's doing stuff with the ball. So actually having a lack of agility isn't that bad, he says.
When they have fend as well, because you don't really have to. Yeah,
you don't have to
always
dodge with them.
Dodge away.
And I'm not you. I don't dodge with everybody who's dodging on a 3+.
Hey, you say you play every team like a Skaven team. I play every team like an elf team. So.
Yeah. All right. You are the next level. You are next level for me on your Skaven tactics. But it's I don't know. I'm really enjoying the ability. I'm sad that my thrower died because he had accurate, so I was actually finally able to throw the ball. But you know what? Past 3+ is really fine. Like, it's really fine. Like, obviously 2++ is better, but plus 3+ is just fine because you're only passing once per drive tops. And it's weird because in 2016 there isn't Cannoneer, so you can't develop your skill. So I love Cannoneer in 2020 versus Strong Arm. Strong Arm's a strength skill. Cannoneer is a passing skill. Your thrower can just straight up get accurate, get Cannoneer, and then he's practically passing 2+. That's actually a massive bonus. Like, that's a really big win for Blood Bowl 2020 versus 2016. Like that a lot. So it will be good for us to get our game in later, or very shortly, because then we can have a little chat afterwards about how you felt playing against nobility. Because it's going to be interesting to get that kind of side, because they're all right. They're definitely tier 2, but I know that you and I are quite excited about them. Yeah,
no, I think so too. I think Fenn's probably going to help you against the frenzy. So
let's hope so. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Fend guys. It should be okay.
Yeah.
He says, desperately hoping. So I got that game in, and then who else did I play? I played James. With the Ironbreaker Dwarves, and won with a sweet throw-in play on the last turn of the game. Hooned it down the pitch, 5+ pass, made it, got it in, turn 16, 2-1 win.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that. I was like really chuffed. And then went and lost on the other side. So I'm sitting at 2-1-2 at the moment. It's 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses.
I think it's exactly the same as me.
That's interesting.
Yep, 2-1-2.
Oh, well, it should be quite a tight game. Anyway, that's it for games from me. Any other games from you, Ben?
No, don't think so. For Richard's sake, I won't talk too much about that.
5-0, man. Awful.
Horrific.
I mean, how did it end up?
I think.
Like, were you just maximizing opportunities every single time, and it just kept working?
It was just, I wanted to see what leveled up wolves are like. I wanted the SPP. That was just a lot of the casualties. I think 2 of them. I think he had 4 genuine taken out, like missing next game casualties. He had others in like KO'd and stuff, badly hurt. A lot of them were self-inflicted. He got really unfortunate with GFIs and dodges. And with no rerolls, it's that's going to trip you up literally.
I seriously love Rich, but he has potentially the worst luck of any coach I've ever met.
It was quite sad.
Yeah, 5 failed go for it's for him. He had some bad luck there.
Really did.
Ooh, 15 skulls out of 59. A quarter of his rolls were skulls.
Again, a lot of self-inflicted. The bear did get 3 casualties though, which was fantastic because that leveled him up.
Well, I can't wait to play against him. That's good.
Yeah.
Or his friend.
Yeah.
8 casualties for old Jesse Lumbar.
Yeah.
Classic werebear name.
He's doing well. I have been really unfortunate on my skill leveled up though. I've only got normals on everyone. Haven't got any fun stats or doubles. So It's been quite interesting, but to be fair, they build them quite nice.
I actually have played against Ian's Norse dwarf team, basically the Slayer team, and the fact that one of his dudes has strength up I was just, you know what? I think I've just fallen in love with 2020 because it is just like unfair. Like you've got that one extra strength because you were lucky. Like that is literally it. Like you just rolled a double. It's really interesting.
To be fair, though, a lot of Blood Bowl games, you won that game.
Oh, no. But where we've been spending so much time now, 6 months talking about Blood Bowl 2020 and like, right, cool, yeah, gamble with 3 SPP, save up 12 SPP, take this, save up to 18 SPP and go for the stat up. I don't know, I think I really like that idea. And especially where I'm building the team, I'm like, actually, it'd be cool to save up the SPP here and grab a double. You know, I actually... The 2016 was great because there's nothing better than rolling plus Adge with one of your garbage players, and then you're like, oh, boom, like now I've got someone special. There is nothing quite like that, but it's just, I don't know, like I'm glad that's gone, I guess, for strength.
Yeah,
anyway.
I like the choice. I still like that there is still an element of luck in it, but I like, you know, it kind of happened too often, I think. And it's quite nice that you now have a choice to make it happen.
It's
rather than it just randomly happening.
It keeps the teams feeling, I think, a little bit more like the teams. And I don't know. I'm really sold. I think it's great.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So hobby-wise, Ben, what have you been up
to? More Curse City.
The Cursed City.
Yeah, I've been painting my way through that. Yeah, I've got all the gribblies down. Oh, actually, technically not the gribblies. There are some gribblier gribblies. I've done all the skeletons and the zombies. They're all painted. Doing them in quite a quick style, not quite as quick as you've been doing them.
No, or as quick and good as Ian's. Like compared to mine, Ian's been doing them quicker and gooder than me. I'm not even going to correct the language because it's just true. Right, I've got a picture of your rogue trader up on the screen though, Ben.
Oh yeah, Janice Drake or whatever he is.
Miniature's beautiful.
Yeah,
you've done a heck of a job. The leather work on this. I mean, guys, for listening to the podcast, maybe you saw Whip Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe you saw something else that we posted. Ben's stuff on, but he's done an incredible, like yellow leather, but then it kind of fades to brown coat for this guy, and it actually looks like a leather jacket. Like, it's amazingly done.
Thank you.
No, seriously. Like, I spent the first 5 minutes gushing about it on Whip Wednesday this week because I was like, let's start strong. You are very good with this. I'm assuming this is some kind of fancy ink maneuver that you used for your raincoat Skaven.
No, it was contrast.
What?
It was a zenithal. So what I did is I base coated all my guys with. If you saw like Ian's, was Ian Whip Wednesday as well?
Yeah. The Skaven.
Yeah, and like the way you and Ian did, or you and Ian did the Curse City with the red and the white. I had a similar undercoat for everything, and then this is like an orange contrast that I guess is closest to, is it like Ian and yellow? I made it basically with like some contrast medium and orange paint.
Hipster paints.
Well, I don't have the contrast paints, but it's basically the same thing. I didn't have that color, and just glazed it over it, and that was pretty much that. And then some satin varnish. Yeah, so it's actually quite simple, but I got quite lucky because it looks really nice. That's often how I paint. Is I just do stuff and think, that was fortunate.
Nah, it's wicked.
And you show the ones that work.
You know, you did the verdigris on the Nurgle guys, and now you're doing this. It's just awesome to see. It's great. It looks really great, and I think it's been a while since you've actually just properly just sacked off and painted stuff. So I'm really pleased to see it. I think it's great because it's just lovely to see and inspires.
They're great models.
It's a cool set. Anyway, we're not going to mention Curse City anymore because it's dead.
It was a cool set.
Dead to everybody. One thing we should mention is that all next week, Games Workshop have got previews every single day. Have they not? Including boxed games on Thursday. So I think it's only fair that we hypothesize, Ben. Will there be Blood Bowl stuff on Thursday?
I think there might be something. I think there'll, at the very least, be a hint. I think it probably be focused on Underworlds, do you reckon? Maybe Necromunda? There's like a roadmap for that.
I believe there's a Necromunda boxed game coming.
Right.
I don't know if it's out.
Yeah.
If it's been spoiled already.
There's definitely Underworlds teams coming. I think it was the Ideneth one, I think is next.
Yes. Yeah. So Monday, AOS. Tuesday, 40k. Wednesday, Black Library. So remember that spoiler we all got really excited about and then watched it? It was just 3 hours of them talking about a book. I would potentially avoid Wednesday. But the Thursday one, which is the boxed games, that could be us. And then they're doing 40k again, and then Saturday the 8th is a mystery. So
that could also be Blood Bowl.
Well, I think, come on, Battlefleet Gothic. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. But that's
Old World, maybe.
I think Old World is probably the most likely to be. But they're in a really difficult spot at the moment where they've said, well, all their releases are delayed. Yet they're still spoiling stuff. And it's like, man, is the Tree Man even released?
Well, at least if it is Old World releases will be Blood Bowl releases. So,
Definitely.
there'll be teams you can make from those. We already know. Is it what is the Frost people that they've revealed?
Kislev.
Yeah, the Kislev. Yeah, you can make a Kislev team, make them Norse or Slan.
Oh, dude, if they come out and land looking like they do in the trailer of the Warhammer Total War next release, that would be incredible. All right, I'd be okay with Kislev in Blood, but I think it's just the bear with the chain that doesn't make sense to me, and the fact
the tamed bear.
Yeah, at least yours is a werebear. At least it's your choice.
It's upfront about it.
Yeah. So Thursday 6th, we may see some Blood Bowl stuff. So if we do, we'll jump on and talk about it. If not, then not. But that Saturday 8th, it's a mystery. It could be something really, really, really cool. I don't know, man. I don't know. We've just had a great Blood Bowl release in Death Zone and the individual teams. We are due for another Blood Bowl team, perhaps, as it's been 6 months now. But we haven't really had a chance to play with everything we've got, so I don't think it's fine. I was talking in one of our group chats today. I'm okay having a couple of. I'm okay having a month off of the new release, new meta world. We've got Death Zone. We've got Death Zone. We've got tournaments coming up. If they don't release any more teams until October, I think that's fine because you can start playing indoors next month, and then tournaments can kind of start happening from June. Actually, you know what? We've got 29 teams available to us right now. 21 in the book, and 8 others. We've got plenty of Blood Bowl to be getting on with. That said, vampires, please. Games Workshop. Ben, what's your choice?
Still Slanesh. Still think we'll see that.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, if they're going to release if I get a choice of Blood Bowl team, I think Squig is still it, although I do think an ethereal team would be really quite cool.
Yeah, like a Nighthaunt-esque kind of one.
Yeah, and a cinch to paint.
Yeah, that's very true.
That would be wicked. Even I could paint that team in a very short period of time. That's cool. So,
Mr. I painted 7 teams in one night. We make you forget that.
It was only 4, and there were 7 teams, and we're going to be doing that soon. So I did do some hobby as well, Ben. And one of the cool bits of hobby I did was I printed a giant version of a Punga dwarf from the Kickstarter, and it is a chunky boy. It is the size of a mug. Literally the size of a mug. He just about fits on a 60mm base. I did it at 400%. I think I should have done it 300 or 350. But nonsense. I printed that giant. I printed a Lizard Man giant for Milton, although the hands came out a little bit flat, so I'm going to have to reprint that. And I've been painting and doing graphics and stuff for our next YouTube series when it comes to actually getting games on.
So exciting.
And we did a big old vote your team jobby over the last couple of days as well. That reminds me, I need to put top 5 Friday poll up in a second. But I checked earlier and it was 500 votes because we've got some teams we want to include, and there's 2 gaps at the moment that we haven't nailed in. So I figured actually there's one gap that there's one we may have lined up for. Oh, here we go. So popped it out there. We've been doing some more prep for the Tabletop Blood Bowl series coming up, but we need to pick another team to go into the mix. 600 votes exactly now. Dwarves at 20%, Wood Elves at 17%, Dark Elves 29%, Skaven 34%. So it looks awfully like my Skaven team is going to be in the YouTube, Ben.
Oh, that's exciting. You could bring in Buzz Justice.
I don't know. It might be confusing. No, he's in. So the teams we have got 100% confirmed will be Black Orcs, Nobility, and Snotlings. Those are the three 100%. The 95% is Necro, and then whichever one comes out of the poll on this one. And there's another spot there that Ben and I were chatting about, and potentially Nurgle. If not Nurgle, maybe we'll go another tier 1 set. We'll have a chat about a good format. Then it gives a nice mix of teams. But it's going to be fun. Like, we've got logos, and genuinely we had 2 people already kind of flag up, say, hey, when you do the YouTube stuff, when you bring out the next series of 7 Super Series, like, do merch for the team so we can support them.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
I know.
Like flags and scarves and stuff.
Flags, mugs, shirts. So I've been having a look at some online sites where you can just put your designs on, and then if people want them, they can buy them, and it's just quite fun. Because honestly, man, like, if we had that back like last year before when we did 7 Super Series, I really genuinely think there'd be at least 3 or 4 people out there with Carvelings t-shirts. Supporting the Carvelings.
Definitely. I saw someone make a Carvelings team. Like, they were inspired. They made and painted their own one.
So it'd be cool to see the tiny Titans. And I don't know. It's complete nonsense, but I think it'd be really funny.
That'd be so good.
So
I'm well excited.
It's going to be really good fun. I need to pester you online to get some stuff booked in, because it's about 3 weeks, I think, till we can start filming.
Yeah.
Which means I've got some painting to do. So very jazzed up that people have voted Skaven, because my Skaven team is actually painted, and not just to 7s, actually to 11s. So that's nice. If they'd gone with Dark Elves, I would have had to paint 5 guys. So as it stands, just 3 teams to paint. So that's good. That's all right.
Good thing we bought those votes, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I spent all day at work just creating YouTube accounts and voting Skaven. Did have some great comments. There's Graham, who posts in Wednesday every single week. The resident dwarf, loves dwarves. He was like, I voted Skaven just so Ben doesn't sulk. Like, thanks, Graham. Appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Groovy. So, hobby-wise, anything else to mention, Ben?
No, I think that's about it. Not been a hugely productive 2 weeks, but then, no.
I've got one thing that's completely not related to Blood Bowl, just to mention before we move on, which is that I've picked up 2 little fleets for Dystopian Wars, because I was so gutted about Cursed City, which I wanted to be kind of like the other thing that I can play with along with Blood Bowl and like do some breakdowns and analysis. Now it's dead. I was like, what else is kicking out there that I quite like the idea of? I've got Armada, but I'm not massively jazzed about the rules. Dystopian Wars is up and coming. There's only like 4 different boxes. I was like, I'll get a couple of fleets, see if they're fun, just to like dabble with that. But yeah, so they're coming from Emporium soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Should, when we do filming, bring them along. We'll get a game in, because I'm really keen to see how that game plays.
That would be sweet. That would be really sweet.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who supports us in any way, shape or form, whether you buy merch, whether you're on the Patreon, whether you just like and support, whether you send your stuff in, just everybody out there. Thank you so much for playing along. More than anything in the world, it just motivates us to continue just playing Blood Bowl, having fun. It's just great fun. So thank everybody for joining in, whether you send in your stuff, whether you're part of the Patreon, whether you help us, whether you're one of the 600 people that voted for Skaven. I personally love you. I suppose if it's 34%, it's 200 people. All right, 200 people, I love you. 400 people, you're fine. just wanted to say a thank you to the new Patreons who've joined in the last couple of weeks. Got James, Nathan Wallace, Joe Newton, Christian Mikkel Rasmussen, Michael O'Connor, Trevor Perman, Daniel Kay, Hurley Boy, John Gard, Michael Bradley, and Emma Logan. We've also got Mark Nielsen as well. Guys, thank you very much for joining. It's great to have you on board. And we'll be doing another competition in probably about the end of the week, actually. The timeline matches up. So thank you for joining us on Patreon and helping us to create stuff, because I'm going to be leaning very heavily on the Patreons to decide things like team names and player names and stuff like that as we go forward over the next few weeks, building up for our next series of tabletop. Because we're going to try and just make this like a mini sports league, because I'm super excited. Just be nice to have a purpose again. Sad times. Right, Ben, shall we take a quick break and then be back to talk about sponsorships?
Hell yeah.
There's a segue for you. Right, be back in a sec. I've had one beer and I screwed up the intro to that segment. So sponsorships in Blood Bowl is something that we saw land in Death Zone 2 of the last edition, and it was just some stuff that your teams could get. You could swing to get it. You had to roll a d16, and sometimes it happened. Never once did it happen in a local league, but we kind of not necessarily stayed away from the special rules. We kind of had a really varied mix of coaches, where some were seasoned, some were brand new, and we wanted to make sure that it was really easy to enter. So we kind of had things like sponsorships, stadiums, special honestly, everything that's in this book now was all like optional, that the more advanced coaches could partake in if it happened. But so we didn't really do a lot of it, but they've got the sponsorship rules back, and I thought it would be worth chatting through them, Ben, because this is something that I know our coaches are going to be like, can I get a sponsor? Can I do this? And I thought it'd be worth just taking a look to see how they work in the new Death Zone edition. Did you have a look at the sponsorships for the last edition at all, Ben?
Not in the last edition, no. They completely went past me, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But these look quite fun from what I've read.
There's some pretty cool stuff. There's some pretty thematic stuff. Okay, so here we go. School is in session. Apparently my S's now come with H's attached to them. Gaining a sponsor. Teams can attempt to find a sponsor at the beginning of step 4 of the post-game sequence. I love that they've got these steps in here now. I do think they need like letters with them as well. We'll get there, Blood Bowl. During the beginning of Step 4, AB17, before any players or sideline staff are hired or fired, if you wish to seek a sponsor for your team, you still got to roll a D16. Then add the team's dedicated fans characteristic and any of the following modifiers that apply. So you're adding your dedicated fans. So you can buy this at Team Creation. Because it adds basically every dedicated fans you've got kind of adds 5k to your winnings. So if you go in with 4 dedicated fans, you're going to get at least an extra 20k no matter what happens with the game. Also, if you want to sponsor, having those dedicated fans is going to boost that massively. Along with +3 if they won a game, +1 for each touchdown the team scored, +1 for each player on the opposing team that suffered a roll on the casualty table, however this was caused. I like that. That's how we do things in tournaments, Ben, isn't it? Just casualty is a casualty is a casualty. And +2 if the game was played during the playoff season. So let's take a standard 2-1 win. I mean, let's not take your last game, Ben, but how many casualties do you kind of score in a game?
I'd say usually like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That 2 would be a really good game. So let's just say 1. Okay,
so let's say you get so you win the game and it's 2-1 and you got a casualty. That's +6 to your D16 roll. That's all right. Then your dedicated fans, and let's say you've got, 3, so that's +9 to the roll. The result you need is 20 or more. So if it's 20 or more, your team could accept either a one-time sponsorship or an ongoing sponsorship. So if you win 2-1 and cause a casualty, that's +6 to your die roll. You've still, so that's a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that is, what's that? 6 out of 16. Which is 3/4 of a half. So you've got a 37% chance of being able to swing a sponsorship if you win a game. That's okay. I mean, I feel like you don't want them to be around or like available all the time. Do you reckon?
Yeah, like these things should happen as like an exceptional feat. I think it's one of those things where it does become, if when you do have the games which are really like impactful, a sponsorship is really likely to turn up, which I think is like,
All right.
yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. It seems kind of weird for the sponsorship to come up for just the average game. That makes sense.
How many casualties did you cause in your game last night?
I think it's 4.
Oh my god. So +3 for winning, +5 for touchdowns, +4 for casualties, that's +12. You probably got 2 fan factor, so that's +14. +14. You would have needed a 6 or more D16. All right, so if you have a big game, you could be getting a sponsor. So there's a couple of different sponsor types, and that's what we wanted to talk about, because actually these have impacts on the game. So we're just going to kind of blitz through them all and chat about whether we think they're good. So one-time sponsorship. The team lends its image to a well-known brand, appearing in some Cabal Vision ads or making personal appearances at high-profile launches in exchange for one-off payment. All the players have to do is behave themselves. So the team receives D6 times 10,000 gold pieces. Then you roll a dice. On a roll of a 1, a randomly selected player who is permanently on your roster gets drunk and misses the next game, as if they had missed next game result. The selected player is already missing the next game. Find somebody else. On a 2+, you're fine. There you go, Ben. So you got incredibly lucky yesterday. You nuked a team from orbit because it was the only way to be sure. And then you re-rolled and you successfully passed the sponsorship roll. How would you feel about getting an extra D6 times 10k, but you have to roll a 2+, or one of your dudes misses the next game at random?
I think that's amazing. I'd take that. Like, having an extra money is always good. There have been so many times in League where it's just like, I just wish I had like 10 or 20 more K.
I was 5k short of my ogre.
Exactly. This thing would be great.
So I'm with you. I am completely with you there. Yeah, I mean, it's random as heck, and I think that was actually something that we always wanted to fix with the old school Blood Bowl, was roll a dice. That's how much money you get. Was a bit like, all right, this is rewarding. Now it is, but here's a bonus. Extra 10k is great, and yeah, sure, one of your star players could be missed next game, but if you just won a game so hard that you got a sponsor, you know what? It's probably okay. Then if one of your bears was out this game because it got drunk in the after party, I think you'd be like, yeah, all right, that seems fair. They took a shot for each touchdown scored, and then they got paralytic and ended up on a bus somewhere. Yeah,
and as a result, I was able to buy another player or re-roll or something like that.
Yeah, so I just got an extra D6 times 10,000 gold pieces instead. Yeah, I think that's a real. I would take that gamble every time, I think.
Yeah, always.
So that's what you can do. Or you can go for an ongoing sponsorship. Now, same roll. So you roll the dice. Oh, sweet, I've got a sponsor. Do I want to just cash out now? Or do I want to brand myself? So, ongoing sponsorships. The team becomes an official ambassador for a brand, receiving a sum of gold each time they make a public appearance, etc. If the team takes an ongoing sponsorship, make a note of this on their roster, and during Step 1A, the post-game sequence, they get an extra D3 times 10k added to their winnings. Then roll a dice. Okay, so if you can take one time, Ben, which is D6 times 10. Or you can take ongoing, where after every game you get D3 times 10. But you roll a dice after each match. On a 1, a randomly selected player from your team has upset the sponsors somehow and has received a visit from a pair of brand ambassadors. They miss next game. Same rules as before. Okay, so it's basically a one-time payment of D6, or every game, D3 times 10. I know what you're going to say about this, because this is literally the Orc rocket launcher conversation. But Ben, take it away. Would you rather have D6 now or many D3?
I'll take many D3 all the time. It's like I said, the reason I take this is to have those to fix those moments where you just need a little bit more cash. And I think having the assurance of a D3 times 10 extra, I just like that a lot more. 2D3 is better than 1D6. So Yeah, no, I like it.
No, I love that. So immediately after rolling to see whether the sponsors are happy or not, you can choose to end an ongoing sponsorship, deleting them from the team's roster. And you can have any number of ongoing sponsorships. However, the roll to see whether the sponsors are happy must be rolled for each one.
Love it.
Okay, so you don't actually lose the sponsor on a roll of a 1 either. So you just keep the sponsor. There must be a way to lose sponsors. There's rules here for redrafting them. So if you have to go through a redraft, you just roll a dice, add your dedicated fans, and on a 9+, you're good to go. Anything less than that, you're not. To be honest with you, if you finish the season with 4 or 5 dedicated fans, I feel like the bell curve flattened out around about 4 dedicated fans. It's a 4+ to keep the sponsorship, which I think is fine. So I've got the notes here. That was page 58. Oh, that's page 57. 58 is here. So let's have a look at this one. I wonder how you lose them. Okay, so then we move on to major sponsorships. There are a number of big name sponsors who only make offers to the brightest and most successful teams. A major sponsorship is an ongoing sponsorship as described previously, but does not grant the standard financial bonuses. Instead, they've got special rules. A team can only have one major sponsor at a time, but a major sponsor can sponsor more than one team at a time. That literally sounded like Betty's Got a Bit of Butter. Nice. A team could only have one major sponsor sponsoring it by any. Note that for various ideological and philosophical reasons too numerous and boring to list, some major sponsors won't work with certain teams and vice versa. That's fantastic. Makes sense that, dwarves wouldn't work with elves and elves wouldn't work with dwarves, and that's literally one of them.
That's literally one of them.
Yeah. Right, good. Theme points, Games Workshop. Good job. In fact, Games Workshop, you get D3 theme points. Enjoy your own rules. Right. So, first one up is Mcmurty's Burger Emporium. So this one was in the last edition. I'm going to ignore all the fluff. A team that is sponsored by Mcmurty's does not get any financial incentive, but the improved catering inspires players to new levels of enthusiasm. A team sponsored by Mcmurty's Burger Emporium has the following special rules. A team that is sponsored by Mcmurty's Burger Emporium... Jeez, that's going to get boring. Right.
Legalese in action.
I know, right? Man. It's like reading a script. Like a Java script. Basically, team with burgers get an extra reroll for the first half of every game they play. If it's not used in the first half, it gets carried over. Okay, so they get a Borak reroll. This is my favourite one at all, though. Mcmurty's may make fine food, but sadly their fare is somewhat fattening and doesn't make an ideal diet for athletes. Players on a team sponsored by Mcmurty's cannot improve their movement or agility while the sponsorship is going on. A coach can choose to end their deal in the same way forever. All right, here we go, Ben. So you get half a reroll, but your guys are fat.
Oh, that's so good. I love that so much. I love the idea that you've got this burger emporium and all your athletes in your team have to eat exclusively burgers, and they get so large. I think this is really cool. There are going to be some teams which just straight up want this, like teams that don't care about, like the teams which want to rush out the stats, because you don't have to always level up your stats. It's a complete choice now.
No, so this got better in this edition, basically.
Yeah, it really did. This is awesome.
Because you're not going to randomly roll that stat. You just kind of have to, right, if I want an extra movement or agility roll, I just don't think it's going to impact you. Like, we talked about players worth stat ups. What do we talk about? War dancers and potentially werewolves. But, if you've got war dancers, I don't know. If you really want to go for that movement 9 war dancer, you lose half a reroll. I guess for me, Ben, is that if a major sponsorship gives you D3 after each game, how much is a reroll going to be? Let's say 120k. So that's 6 games to get a full reroll for your team, or a half reroll immediately with Mcmurty's. I actually think Mcmurty's is better than that. Better than D3 per...
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I like that one. All right, here we go. Farblast and Sons Ordnance Solutions. I will not be reading that one every single time. Available to any team except Elf Scum. Gotcha. Farblast. Right. Team that is sponsored by Farblast does not get no money. Single permanently hired lineman positional of your choice may be equipped with a satchel of Farblast's finest detonating spheres. All right. They get Bombardier, Loner 4+, and Secret Weapon, and secondary access to passing skills as long as the sponsorship lasts. That's interesting. We'll come back to that. While sponsored, teams' winnings are reduced by 20k due to insurance premiums. Man, I love that.
That's funny. That's quite harsh, though. I think that one is really kind of harsh.
Well, I don't think it's so harsh anymore, because if you've got enough dedicated fans to be able to swing a sponsorship, you're looking at probably about 4 dedicated fans. That 4 dedicated fans is going to net you 20k after each match. So it kind of balances out. You're still going to be bringing in 40k. It's not like this is one thing. So, if this was on the last edition, you'd be like, well, what if I roll a 1? I'm going to lose 10k. Not the case anymore. You're just probably going to bring in 20 to 30k instead of 40 to 50k. So it is quite expensive. But I guess, look at it this way. Would you pay 20k to be able to take a Bombardier next game?
Oh, absolutely.
I think always. I really genuinely think always. This is the clever thing, though. So this player gains Bombardier loner and secret weapon traits and secondary access to passing skills as long as the sponsorship lasts. So you can pick a dude, buy leader or another throwing skill that you want, get rid of this sponsorship. They retain the skill, but they can't buy any more. So it's kind of like a mini workaround. So if you wanted to, for example, give your Minotaur on the ball so that it gets an extra 3 squares of movement whenever somebody throws the ball, you could make it a Bombardier for a little while until you've got enough SPP to buy a double. I mean, at that point you really should be buying block, but yeah, all right, that's a terrible idea, actually. I'll take it all back.
I see this as you could maybe it's hard to play around, but if you know you're doing sponsorships, you could have some I'm looking at this as like a stunty thing, where you have the stunties which don't really want to buy skills. That's kind of the thing we discussed, wasn't it, where you can kind of just keep stunties cheap by just having them score touchdowns but not actually leveling them up. You get to a point where they can afford a secondary. You get the sponsorship off somehow in a game as a stunty team, and then you can suddenly equip someone with a Hail Mary pass Bombardier because you have enough SPP to level them up.
That's the flipping dream. Do you know something else that might be quite good is sneaking what's the Elven Union broken catcher skill? Nerves of Steel. You can sneak Nerves of Steel onto a dude, although it does say it's only a lineman, so I don't know. It's interesting, but I mean, Ben, would you rather do that, or would you rather get D3 times 10k?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's tough. I love the idea of a Bombardier, but
I think if I was in that situation where I already had the SPP to give it something like Hail Mary, then I'd consider this. But I probably wouldn't get this just off the bat.
Yeah, I think if I got a choice between the two, it'd be great fun. I don't think I would turn it down. I think if someone was like, well, you can take a Bombardier each game, I'd probably be like, sign me up without thinking about it. But I think the D3 times 10k is probably the best way to go. I like that. You got a thematic version, but the standard one, you're not giving anything up by taking the standard one. Like, it's still a great option. I think that's good balance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one up is the Star Insurance Guild. Team that is sponsored by Star gets no money, as before. Right, here we go. If a permanently hired player belonging to the team dies and is removed from the roster, the team immediately receives a payout equal to half its current value, rounding up to the nearest 5k. Once all dead players have been removed, roll a d6. If the result is equal to or lower than the number of players that were removed on that roster, so if one dude dies, you roll a dice on a 1. The guild's agents have arrived to collect their due. The team must immediately pay 2d6 times 10k. If it can't afford to, its treasury is emptied, and the deal comes to an end. D3 randomly selected permanently hired players go miss next game as they get beaten up, essentially. Okay, so I like that if a great player dies, you get half the cash, but there's a chance you're going to have to pay, potentially 60, 70k out if you roll that 1 anyway. Which means you'll break even if you've got 140k. So a War Dancer with a single skill, if it dies, you'll get 70k. If you then roll a 1, It's 2d6 times 10k, and if you don't get that, not only has one of your guys died, but D3 are also going to be missing next game.
That's a real risk. To not a massive reward, in my opinion.
It's weird. I do like the idea of having insurance, like for players. I think we've talked about it when we talked about sevens. Like, if a player gets drafted out of your sevens team, it's like, oh, sweet, I've just lost 100k out of my. Do I get that back? Do I not get that back? Like, come on. Right, dude dies. I like the idea of getting a payout. I think that's decent, but it's half the TV. So if you've got an ogre and the ogre dies, you get 70k. If you took the D3 times 10k to get 70k, you would need to have it for 5 games to kind of net 70k, and you wouldn't have the average. You wouldn't have that chance of having to pay it back.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on this one. I think this is about as fun as actual insurance.
Yeah, you're right. And like, yeah, even the D6 times 10,000, you could just take that as a lump sum.
And potentially be better off.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes, unless it's like a real star, like 200k player.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, interesting.
I'm
not sold on this one. I think that's a pass for me. I like this one though. Steel Helm's Sporting Emporium. I'd call it SSE, but that's some Southern Scottish Electric, isn't it? In the real world, I don't.
Everyone's favourite company.
Yeah, there's insurance, there's electrical companies. I'm sponsored by O2. O2. A team that is sponsored by Steel Helm Sporting Emporium does not get money, but they get personal trainers. So when a permanently hired player selects a new skill randomly, either primary or secondary, you may re-roll one or both of the D6. However, you must accept the result of the re-roll even if the skill generated is less desirable. Note, however, that if the skill rolled when re-rolling or re-rolling the second D6 is one the player already has or cannot take, you may re-roll the dice as normal. There is a chance the player would injure themselves. Right, okay, so straight off the bat, if you take a random skill, which these days is 2d6, isn't it? It's first d6 then a second d6. You can re-roll one of the dice if you get a skill you don't like. I think that's interesting, Ben. So we've talked. There's a lot of teams out there that actually have got strength access or general access. Being able to take that random roll on a d6. So I think when we talked through most of the skill groups, it was like, I don't know, 50-50 good and rubbish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, that takes it from 50-50 to 75% chance of you rolling a skill that you'd be happy with potentially.
Yeah, I think I quite like this.
There is a catch. There is a chance the player will injure themselves while training intensively. Once a new primary skill has been selected, roll a d6. Once a new secondary skill has been selected, roll 2d6. If a roll of a 1 is on either dice, they miss next game. Alright, that's fine. If a roll is 1 on both, okay. If you snake eyes it, the player must miss next game and suffers a niggling injury. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think I'm okay with that one. I do like it. I like that it can kind of turbo out random skill selections.
Yeah, the thing that I'm sort of weighing up is I don't know if I'd rather have this than just flat money every time. Because again, this is something that's going to happen occasionally.
But if you get this one, the thing is, you're not likely to get it early on, are you? That's the downside. Okay, so that's all the major ones, and I don't think there's any way. You can't lose these.
No, there's nothing that says about losing them. I was reading ahead.
Yeah, I was expecting
just until you choose to win them.
I was expecting there to be the next page, like you lose them if you lose a game and you roll a dice again. But no, you don't. You just don't. You just keep them.
Yep, you can stack them.
Damn, son. Okay, so we've discussed that D6 times 10 is great as an instant payout. D3 each game is pretty good because after 3 games you kind of are likely to net more. Bombardier's fun. Mcmurty's is okay. You get kind of an instant reroll now. Insurance is complicated and fun for no one. And then the sporting equipment is okay if you're a team that is likely to just binge on random skills. Potentially useful for like stunty teams or Black Orc teams or teams where they've got strength access. Dwarves might benefit from that one quite nicely.
Yeah.
I just take a random strength. I'm going to get guard. I'm going to get mighty blow. I'm going to get grab. I'm going to get stand firm.
You get strong arm. You can swap that.
Yeah. Well, you just get a straight up reroll in that position. So actually, that might be good for that. If I was a dwarf coach and I rolled that, I'd probably snap it up and just binge random skills on my dudes. It's less TV, so your opponent gets less inducements, but also it's just way quicker because you're not getting that many SPP on your linemen. It's an interesting one, but you don't lose them until a redraft happens, so leaning heavily on redrafts there. I don't know. So Ben, let's pretend that you are the full-blown league commissioner. What are your views on sponsorships in your league?
I like them. I think they're an extra step that doesn't really make the game massively more complex. Like it says, it happens in step 4 of the post game. It's just something you do at the end and you roll, and it probably won't happen. When it does, it's exciting. And I think this opens up a lot of scope for creativity within your league. I think make your own. Good fun.
Oh, making your own is fun. Why is there not a wizard sponsorship? Come on.
A wizard gives you a wizard each game.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Come on. There's got to be an easy Hogwarts name they could come up with. The Blood Bowl aside.
We can make it happen and make everyone in the club really happy.
Especially Simon.
Loves a wizard.
Oh, nobody loves wizards as much as I do. Right, so sponsorships. Interesting. I have a flip it and reverse it kind of thing for you, Ben. Here, what if?
Missy Elliott?
What if? Yeah, oh, man, boom! And we're back in 2003. So, what if you gave sponsorships to teams that are having a bad time instead, as a catch-up mechanic?
Thematically, very non-capitalist of you, Ben.
Yeah. Well,
however, it's. I think that's a really quite fun catch-up mechanic. I know we've definitely thought about gold incentives and things for underdog. We had like underdog rewards, didn't we? In the previous
liked
league?
that. That was nice. Yeah, an extra MVP.
I like that too.
And what was it, like an extra 10k or something? It wasn't much, but it was the MVP was king.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this was, right? In a way, because you had, I mean, it wasn't SPP, but just if you gave a player who's so far behind the one-time sponsorship, I think it's just an extra way to catch up. It helps you in those situations where you've had all your stars, like your player's gone, and it's really hard to replace your expensive elves from your starting roster or something. Help you catch up. I don't think it's really that breaking.
No, I don't think it's that breaking at all. I do like the idea of filtering it perhaps for new teams in, but then you can kind of do that, like you said, with an underdog bonus. The other thing I do quite like the idea of is opening up the sponsorships even more and being able to just pick one at the start of your league. Not with just these sponsorships, but with different other ones as well. Like I don't know, like anything. We've got wizards. There could be specific pitches or something, or you get bonuses to certain things where you can kind of take your team and then be like, boom, I'm going to have an elf team and I'm going to have insurance. Like it's like Small World but for Blood Bowl. And I don't know, could be an interesting way to kind of add traits to your team without a massive array of rules. Anyway, guys, that's sponsorships in Blood Bowl. It's interesting. It's not overwhelming. It is completely thematic and you can add it. It is a little bit win more, and I think that's okay. But hey, whatever you do in your league is down to you. And I think some kind of catch-up mechanic is useful. But what is going to happen when that filthy wear team coach scores a... Or let's be more fair. The dwarf coach, who's already got all the money in the world, scores a sponsorship and then just gets more and more and more money. It's just, I don't know, capitalism in Blood Bowl. There is a point at which it stops being worth it, and that is why we need loans in Blood Bowl. We've got insurance, we've got electricity companies, what we realistically need is Wonga for Blood Bowl, so that I could have got that 5k and got my damned ogre. You know, I would happily have paid 5k for the rest of my life to pay for that ogre. Like, Ben, why have you got no money on your high elf team? Well, 4 years ago, I bought an ogre, and I'm still paying it off.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah. Every now and again, one of my players goes missing because their leg gets broke. Yeah, anyway, that sounds almost as fun as insurance. So, I think that wraps up sponsorship. Do let us know what you think of them. Hey, it's fluff. More Blood Bowl is more better. And on the note of more Blood Bowl is more better, shall we fumble, Ben?
Let's fumble.
Let's fumble. Alright, it's game time. We kind of thought it'd be fun just to play our fumble match. We could talk through what's going on. It might make terrible audio. We've tried it before, but those of you that are watching on YouTube, enjoy the fumble magic. We are playing this on Fumble. We're using secret teams and a kind of retroactively fitted team of the human nobility. So you're gonna, if you want to learn something from this, what you're going to learn is how nobility play in 2016 edition against an unofficial team. So there are lessons to be learned and prizes to be won. Funhouse. Okay, so we've got our match lined up here. We've got the coin throw to start with, and I get it again, so I'm going to go heads. And do I want to receive the kickoff, or do I want to kick off? So Ben's got a high agility team. We'll have a look at the team as he deploys. I suppose my role here is going to be the bash. So I think I'm going to... Well, is it going to be the bash? He's got 4 werewolves and 2 werebears. I've got higher strength across the board, so I'm going to say no. I'm going to kick, and let's shoot for the 2-1 grind. So Ben, I'm kicking off, right? So we'll talk through my team. So I've got a dude. I've got 4 bodyguards. 2 of them have got guard. Oh no, that's not true actually. 3 of them have got guard. That dude leveled up, and I excitedly gave him guard. So the reason I've given my bodyguards guard is because of the name, like it just made sense. But more to that, actually, it seems the logical choice for players that have strength. Now, it's an interesting combo because they've got stand firm and wrestle, so it may not be perfect. And that is what we're doing here, is we are exploring to find out whether it is a great idea or not. I've got 2 blitzers as well. One of them's got dodge and sure feet. One of them has got sweet armor 7. So look for him to get punched in the face pretty hard, pretty quick. And we've got a couple of spare linemen as well. So we're going to deploy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players. Do I want my leader on the pitch? I think I probably need the leader on the pitch, which means I need to lose one of my reserve dudes. And that's not gonna work because that's asymmetrical, and that's just going to upset me. So you know what? Let's just put this fend guy there. Alright, we'll go for that. So that is my team. And then we'll have a look at Ben's team here. So, oh my sweet merry goodness. He has got 2 werebears.
Oh, sorry.
No,
yep,
you go for it. You go for it, man.
Okay. Just as I was going to deploy, I was going to say, so yeah, I've got 2 werebears. These guys are pretty meaty. They're basically trolls without loner and with grab. And thick skull, so they're kind of not like trolls at all. They're strength 4. They're strength 5. Fairly slow people.
Move 4, grab, strength 5, grab, yeah. Mighty blow. Really stupid though. That's actually quite a. They needed some babysitting them.
They do, yeah. Now I've got 2 of them. I might need them even more. I'm actually quite glad you kicked to me, because I quite like this team on the receiving, because they can do quite a lot of damage on the line of scrimmage. Sure, it's just against nobility linemen though. And you guys have Fen, don't you? So that's always going to be fun against Frenzy.
Well, let's
Fen and stand for.
Let's hope. So, what day is it today? Podcast's coming out on Saturday. Those of you on Patreon are going to get it on Thursday, actually. So if you are a patron, you will see today's episode of Theory Thursday. If this is coming out on Saturday, go back and watch it. Basically, it's about the 2-1 grind. So we've got a classic situation here where they're kind of both mid-range teams. Ben's got weaker linemen but stronger positionals. I just have kind of average, I kind of like slightly better than average to slightly worse than average across my team. So mid-range wise, the roles are pretty even. So as far as the 2-1 grind concerns, I kick to Ben, and then my job is going to try and force Ben to score quickly so that I then get basically a half and a half and a quarter to just control the board and run the clock out while I win 2-1. Ben's role, and it's going to be interesting because he's got 4 werewolves and a bunch of Ag 4, so Ag 2 plus movement 7 linemen. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That means they're pretty explosive, and if Ben can get a turnover, if he can grab the ball, he's going to be able to break the serve. So, you know, I think before we kick off, Ben, what's your prediction for the score in this match?
I think it'll be 2-1, and I can't call who that's going to be against. I think you could definitely 2-1 grind me if you get the control, but I could also score quite quick.
Yeah.
And probably get 2 touchdowns in. So I reckon either 2-1, 2-2 maybe.
I think it's going to be 2-0 to you. I think you're going to be able to break my serve and cause enough casualties to hold me down. But it's going to be my job not to let that happen. So what we got here is we've got a setup now. I've got 3 dudes on the line, 3 Fend rookies. One of them with movement 5, bless him. What's his name? Alexander. Yeah, he's going to die. Then I've got 4 bodyguards backed up with 2 blockers. Sorry, 2 blitzers. I've got a random Fend lineman in the backfield and my 1 remaining thrower who does have leader just kind of deployed in the anchor defense. Ben's gone pretty kind of heavy on the line here. He's got his kick, Werecat out wide, 2 bears on the line supported by 2 werewolves, so he's going to be able to take 4 opening blocks if he needs them, 2 werewolves slightly behind that, and then 4 in the backfield with the Werecats ready to net the ball. I don't have kick yet, so we'll see where this goes. Oh my sweet Mary Nuffle, pitch invasion. So one of my bodyguards is down. That poor movement 5 dude is knocked down as well, and Ben has got 2 werewolves down and all 3 Werecats near the ball in the backfield out, and I managed to swing a little bit of an advantage in that one. I've got my leader reroll. So Ben, over to you. GLHF, good luck, have the fun.
Well, that's thanks. That's really screwed everything up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
okay.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you can't actually get to the ball, can you? 1, 2, 3, 4,
No.
5, 6, 7. Go for it to get the ball, but I'm not a particularly fast team, so not likely to be able to swoop in, and I might be able to capitalise on this. I'm going to give it a jolly good go.
That's a good start.
Oh, Ben's first block is 2 dice, and both of them have got fleshless faces. This is a double skull situation.
Thankfully, this is where the big guy's not having loner is handy.
Into pushback and skull, and heck yes, I am using that fend. So Ben's opened up with a bear attack and just fended my dude, but used grab to put him in a position to be blocked by a werewolf who 2-die blocks him, both downs him, breaks his armor and stuns him. Leaving Ben with a bear and a werecat, 2 werecats, and a block werewolf. I am loving the werewolves at the moment, man. 2 blodge and 2 block as well.
Yeah, a team like this where they can really really do a lot. It's nice. You give them opportunity, they kind of do everything on this because they can handle the ball, so they can score touchdowns, they can do casualties. It's really cool to have them as like the key part.
Do you think Necro would be tier 1 if they could have 4 werewolves?
Yeah, I think they're pretty close as they are. The trouble with the werewolves though is they are really expensive.
That is true. So 2-die block here from a werewolf. Power and a pushback, so I'm going to fend, and then he's going to go down. Now, these guys have got claw as well. However, claw does nothing against my pitiful cardboard armor. So pushes him back. And just drops into the ground. Now, it looks like Ben's still got a bear that can activate.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I have done a silly thing here.
What's up?
I haven't added the whiteboard. There we go. Got the telestrator now. Boom. We're right going. So Ben's moved a bear and a werecat back towards the ball. The ball is unattended. However, I've got a million miles to get that ball, so I'm not going anywhere near it. And Ben's got another werecat that he's able to move back. And the ball's ended up 3 squares in from the far corner. So, pretty lucky kick from me. Gone for a foul there with a werecat against a lineman? Or was that against the bodyguard on the ground?
That was against the bodyguard. I want to try and remove these wrestle pieces because I think they're going to be a nightmare.
Well, let's hope. Okay, so that's the end of Ben's turn 1. Right, let's see. What can I do here? So I can potentially move some players to try and capture some of yours. But all that's going to do is open me up for some blocks. You've got a little bit of time to get that ball. I've got no blocks. I've got no one that can just stand up and tag except for this lineman. So I stand this lineman up and tag the werecat there. Now I can go for a cheeky little blitz against him. I think the best thing for me to do is to try and blitz this werewolf. So 2 die gets the star. Yes, follow up. Oh, but he's regenerated, so casualtied him out, but he has regenerated. I think I'm going to do a silly thing. Let's go for it. Gets to go for it just to tag the closest werecat to the ball. Now you've got a load of other players, but at least it's going to force you to roll a thing. Okay, it's not ideal, and it's probably going to do nothing at all in the long run. So I can do that. I think I've got a good block situation here. I don't really want to do a massive amount. This is really difficult because I'm basically scared of all of your players. Because the bears got claw as well?
No, the bears don't have claw.
Alright, but the old werewolves do. So let's do, that's going to be a dodge. That's going to be a dodge as well. Okay, that's a bit of a nuisance. Let's move him up to there, him up to there. So we're just flanking with my bodyguards here. Let's move this armor 7 guy up as well. Now Ben's got enough movement so that he should be able to just flex and go wherever he wants to go when he needs to go. That guy's on the ground. I think that's everybody. There we go. Over to you, turn 2. So the ball's in the top right-hand side for Ben. Interesting. Interesting. So turn 2 for Ben. He's got a bunch of players on the floor, but with high movement and jump up, that pitch invasion is going to achieve very little. Except kind of cost you a turn. So really stupid. The werebear moves to kind of gang up on a couple of my dudes on the far side. And then Ben's got a werecat that's a 2+ dodge away from it, but there's a werecat right there in the backfield with jump up that can swoop in and get the ball if he wants to. But it looks like Ben's going to be positioning his players up top to go for some attacks potentially. We've got a werewolf blitz here, probably going to be taking out that leader. There he goes, 2 dice, both down power push. Now you've got block, I don't have dodge, so you get to choose whatever you want to do here. Follows up, claw breaks the armor. No, it doesn't. I'm not on a double 1. So the werewolf strikes. My leader guy's still alive. So what we're going to see here, I think, probably from Ben, is because 4 of his players have got claws and block and movement 8. Kind of some targeted attacks because the nobility team has got chaff at lineman. So only half its team are really worth worrying about. And I think what we'll see from Ben is because he's got a cadre of 6 offensive players, 2 strength 5 and 4 strength 3 block frenzy. He should be able to make some really good attacks to try and take him out. Who's activating now? Ah, the little teddy bear in the backfield. Or this orange guy. This is tense.
It is.
Where's Teddy Ruxpin going to go, Ben? Ben's werecats. Some of them look like little tiny werewolves. Some of them look like Teddy Ruxpin, basically.
Okay, I'm going to try this. Probably a horrendous play, but we'll see.
Is it potentially... Oh, a handover. So swoops in, fails to pick up the ball, and uses a reroll, gets a 1 again. So the ball is down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blitz 6, 7. Alright. Alright, that seems like a terrible idea. So let's move you there. We'll stand you up just to protect some players here. Let's swoop you up here. There is fine. Just to apply a bit more pressure, we'll stand up my guard dude. Leader's going to stay on the ground because a foul is kind of a little bit more risky. I think we've got a chance here to do something silly. Takes a dodge, gets the dodge. We're going to blitz up here, hit the cat, push him away. Don't follow up. Go there, grab the ball, fail the pickup, get the reroll.
Oh, nonsense.
So Ben failed to pick up the ball with a couple of double ones. Had it in a tackle zone of a strength 2 player, and I just happened to have a catcher with sure feet close enough to run through, take a cheeky 2-die blitz, push him away, and swoop in, grab the ball, and get a turn 2 defensive touchdown.
That's nuts. How did that happen?
Because I play every team like Skaven, apparently. And you know what? That was a pretty Skaven thing to do. Man, that was cool. That was okay. This is okay so far. I think I need to tuck these guard bunnies in. So, guard didn't really do much then, but that's okay. Let's get leader on the pitch as well, and one random lineman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's set up there. I don't know why I'm still using this movement 5 piece. I should be using everyone else. So that's interesting.
I'm going to do the exact same thing, right? Is that definition of insanity?
So Ian's just put in the group chat. Oh no, Milton. Louise Sugden is now going to be doing Warhammer TV. Oh, she's the vibrant, ridiculous painter girl. And the Blood Bowl artist.
Oh, wow.
Don't know if you guys can see that on the YouTube version, but no, because of all the green screen and everything. That's really interesting to see, actually.
Actually, like I've been raving to some of my friends about how good the Blood Bowl artwork is. It's something I absolutely love about the new books, and I just love the artwork. I think it's absolutely phenomenal.
I feel like it got real good around about Spike 10 when the Snotlings came out.
Yeah.
I feel like
that sounds about right.
That was the point at which they kind of moved to the 2020 art direction.
The sort of comic book-esque.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it. I think it's brilliant. Hey, well, we wouldn't do a podcast about Blood Bowl if we didn't like it a lot. I still don't have kicks, so I'm going to drop the ball into the... There you go. Brilliant coaching. You get a reroll, and it's not a massive kick this time. So the ball is now...
Oh, that's a lot better than the previous.
Yeah. It's not a pitch invasion.
Pretend the first 2 turns didn't happen.
So Ben's gone with the same setup of 2 bears and 2 wolves on the line. Opens up with a 2-die block from the bear. Uses grab. I'm going to fend to keep your bear in place, but it just ends up with my lineman in between a bear, a werewolf, and a werecat. The werewolf takes 2 dice. Pow push is probably going to be what Ben takes here. I'm going to fend to stop him from following up. Otherwise, he'd have to, using the frenzy skill. The other werebear's taking 2 dice here. Skull pushback. I'm going to fend him off, but grab swings him round into place next to the werewolf. Werewolf takes 2 die block. Pow push pow. Let's fend him off. He goes down. His armor holds though. The ball has landed in the backfield literally next to one of the werecats. So one of the Teddy Ruxpins is going to be able to pick it up. Ben has taken a 2 die block here. Pow push is going to be the result. It's another werewolf. Yes, I'll use fend. And movement 5 boy. Alexander Pylon is stunned. And the werewolf now moves. So reasonable opening blocks there. I mean, every time we do one of the setup videos, we look at the fact that actually your front line, you kind of concede it. You just concede those 3 players. They're opportunities for your opponent to fail rolls. So these, where's my projector view? These 3 here, they are just opportunities for your opponent to cost themselves rerolls. We saw that on turn 1 from Ben here. He went double skull, cost him a reroll immediately. And fortunately for me, no removals just yet. So Ben's moved up. He's actually doing a screen on the top here, and it's quite a decent screen with 2 werewolves, 3 werecats, and a werebear anchoring the side. His little dude grabs the ball and hands off to another werecat, and the werecat's running in there to a very loose side cage. Now we've got to look and see if Ben's got any more players. I think potentially Jesus, the werewolf, if he hasn't activated yet, we might see him move. He's been. Okay, so that's the end of turn 3. So Ben has formed a pretty tasty side cage, which I have problems with, in my opinion. So I do have a block against him, but oh, that's hilarious. I'm using the windowed projector with my whiteboard. Do I want to give the werebear a free block? Well, I've stood him up, so I might as well stand him up. Let's see if we can force you to use those dice. So what can we do here? We can actually put players in position to just harass and stop the potential movement of that ball. Let's move you, guard boy, into there. And then I think we can get a blitz all the way around onto the ball carrier again. I'm going to burn a reroll, go for glory. Does that guy have dodge? Let's find out.
Nope, no dodge there.
Okay, so we are going to follow up, which is risky because I'm right next door to a werewolf, so he's going to have the opportunity to grab that dude and just blitz him off the pitch now, but it's worth it to cause a potential turnover again. So can I bring up this guy? I can. So I'm going to put him there again. Stand firm, though, is going to keep my bodyguard safe. Now, it didn't work against Ian's team, and the reason it didn't work against Ian's team is because all these guys have Juggernaut. Ben's guys don't have Juggernaut, which is useful for me. So, can we pick up the ball in one tackle zone? Or do we just force blocks? I've used my reroll for the turn. That's something that's not the case in Blood Bowl 2020. So I think the proper thing to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, jump on the ball. You've got sure feet, you can run a billion squares. So let's go there. And then let's go for a pass action. Let's see if we can't pull this off. So 4+, gets the ball.
Aww.
I've now got a couple of options here. Now I can go for the pass, which I probably shouldn't have done. It's in 2 tackle zones there, so that's bad. I think the proper thing to do is to try this, which is bad, and I should have gone for a handoff, but I didn't. But it doesn't matter.
Nice.
Insane luck. Right, so let's just see if we can't score a cheeky bit of protection. Took a go for it and got it in there. Okay, so we've managed to secure the ball a little bit. Ben's got 2 offensive players nearby, but I've surrounded them with 2 guard players and unfortunately all of my other positionals. And Ben has got an entire team abandoned in the midfield with only a couple of fend linemen in the way. And there's the bear opening pow to both down. No, it's a werewolf. I am going to fend to keep you in place, but that does free up your werebear. So he's going to go for a little walk and add his guard to the mix when it comes to attacking my guard players. And we've got Werecat able to move as well, coming in and tagging my Armor 7 Blitzer. So here it is, Werewolf going to look for a blitz. Everything is 2 dice, bad rolls there. So my guard paying off. So there we go, lesson 1, Nobility. Well, to be honest with you, I think guard is good on any team. So the werewolves, they don't get strength access, do they? I think they get it on a double. So
no, yeah.
Building blodges is great, but saving up to get Mighty Blow is going to be a lot easier in 2020, isn't it? Would you have, how, like on your list, Ben, you got block on all of them and then dodge on a couple. How far up is Mighty Blow for you? Takes a dodge, gets it on a 3+, going for a blitz here. Looks like it's going to be 1 die blitz against my guy. Yes, I'm using stand firm. Gets a push. Weird that.
Sorry, what was the question?
How far up your skill list? Block, dodge, Mighty Blow. I feel like those are 3 really good skills for a werewolf. They don't have strength access right now, but would you be going and rushing for blodge before you go Mighty Blow, or would you have wanted to save up to 12 SPP to take Mighty Blow instead?
I think so. I think blodge is really key. The way this team works is everything falls apart sometimes. It's either you shred the opponent or they shred you. Usually one will happen. And I think having the blodge on your werewolves just makes your key players just live longer. I like Mighty Blow when they're not the players they're not the only things that do everything.
Yep.
But yeah, blodge on a werewolf when they're like your blitzers, your runners when they're everything. It's It's really important, I think.
Goes for the 2 die up.
I meant to do another block, but that's okay.
You've got block, haven't you?
I do, yeah.
Let's go for the push. Skull Pow push. He's off the pitch. It was always worth it to force some dice. Talking of force dice, double power push here from the Werebear on one of my Fend guys. I'm going to use Fend, and it's going to cost him a cheeky stun. Okay, now Ben's acting on Santiago, the werewolf, bringing him into the fray in midfield. And we've got a block action here from a Werecat looking for decent rolls. Manages to find a single die roll. I'm going to use Stanford to keep him in place because I'm hoping to be able to use some of my guard to make some openings. Push there. So if I do the push, I am going to say no to this one. Going to allow you to push me next to that bear.
Didn't take the skull.
Huh?
Didn't take the skull.
You got 2 dice against me.
It was 2 die up.
Was it?
Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't take the skull there.
Oh, I didn't even see the skull. Well,
it's
there
okay,
you
I thought
go.
it was a next level strat.
No. Next level failure. Alright, okay, so we are in an absolute scrum here. We've got some choices to make. We can make a good block here with strength 3, 4, 5, 6 against the bear, and I've got wrestle. So I think we'll start with that as I get 2 dice on this guy. I'm going to wrestle you to the ground to open up
Makes sense.
that floor a little bit. Okay, so I need to get the ball the heck out of there, and I've got no one on the other side of the pitch. So I need to find a way to make some kind of a hole. So let's see, can I do anything in the way of making some creative blocks? He's tagged, so I can block him out. Alright, let's do this. We're going to go for a punch here. Push is fine. We'll move him there and we'll follow up. I can block you there. Push is fine. I'll follow you up. So what we're going to do now is I need a blitz action. I need to blitz. So I've got to make a 3+ dice here, and it's either a dodge or a handoff. So I can go into there. I've got werewolf in the backfield that's going to cause me aggro anyway. But what I can do is a very bad idea. So let's do that then. Whoa, no, that's the wrong button. Deselect player. Deselect player. Gosh, okay. Heart is literally racing.
Nice.
Alright, okay. So the handoff is done. I can now 1, 2, blitz to there. Follow up. That's a long way to go. That's a long way to the top if you wish to rock and roll. So I think, as terrible an idea as this is, nope, failed it. Failed a quick pass with a double one. Ball is on the sideline next to 2 of Ben's players. So where you tagged me with that werewolf, I could have gone for a blitz to break him free, but I would have had nowhere to go. So I was planning on getting it to my blitzer and then using him to blitz through the werecat and just at least get him to the other side of the pitch. So it's going to be a move here from Ben's werewolf away from the ball to cover the midfield. So far, pretty light on removal for both sides, but Ben is well set to potentially start surfing my guys now because I'm close to the edge.
This is tough.
Okay, so Ben's really stupid werebear has stood up. So I see that you've taken Stand Firm on that bear, Ben. Would you have taken Brawler as an alternative to that?
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I really like that. That's now an option.
Okay, it's a blitz here with the wolf. I am going to take Stand Firm, but he is going to go down. But luckily, he's just prone. What that does mean is that Ben's got a potential gang-up situation there on Jaden Callanet, my guard bodyguard. Okay, it's a block action. It's 1 dice potentially from a werecat.
It's really awkward.
Ben is at 0 rerolls at the moment. So is playing Hellbent already. I do like the Brawler as a kind of... You could, if you've got a blitzy dude, you can chuck jugs on. If you've got line, you know, if you've got like a big old blocker role, which I think the bear probably plays a good role at. It's basically a strength 5 Black Orc if you chuck Brawler on.
Hmm.
I think it's very good that he's got full troll.
I think I'm just going to have to go for glory and hope I roll loads of 3s.
Swoop in, grab the ball and run through the cage of death.
Oh no, not that smart.
Okay. Okay, swoops in, does get the ball and dodges back out again. Gonna go for a pass. Yes, I'm going to intercept. I'm going to try and intercept with this guy. It doesn't work, but the pass is failed though. Interesting. Let's stand you up. Okay, so
It was all but the catch on a 1. It was a 2+. Would have been stylish.
all right. So what have we got here? What options have we got? We can move this guy to there. End that move. Block the werewolf for 2 dice. We'll power him down. We'll go there. We'll follow up. Oh, he's gone.
Does not regenerate.
Miss next game. Sorry, dude. Okay.
I had it coming.
We got a passing situation here, which is a terrible idea. So that's always good fun. We can try and dodge that guy, but that seems bad. We've got a dodge dude, and we've got a pass dude. So I think the appropriate thing to do is to put a guy on the ball, just so that when everything goes wrong, we've always got that as an option. This guy here, I've just stood up with, so he gets a cheeky block, so we'll go for that. We'll just block you. Power him down up to there. Oh, geez, followed up, didn't mean to, but that's okay. We've got stand firm, so that's something. That lineman is in bad times. Alright, so I've got a 3+ roll to do stuff. So do I take 3+ now? And do I do it this way? I think we will. I think we'll go 3+. Down there, and then send you to your doom there. Alright, that's okay. So I've got another guy on the ball now. So I can go for a blitz, then a 4+ pickup with a dodge for glory. Gets that. Runs here. Punches you. You go down. Oh, let's put you there. And we won't follow up. He's gone. Kazland, I'm afraid. Oh, crap. He got the ball.
You and your pickups, man. Oh.
Gets the dodge. There's nowhere good to go, though. How many more squares have I got? This guy's got sure feet. So 1, 2, 3. It's not enough to get out of places, is it? I don't have any guard support here. My guard people are all the other side. Let's go there. Probably the best I can do. Okay, so what we can do now is take a risky dodge. And there, and then another risky dodge here. Oh, it worked. And let's tag that werewolf. Alright. That went pretty well. I got quite a lot of luck there. time to claw, Ian Triplo says. Okay, so turn 6 for Ben. Activating a werewolf. Amelia. Okay. So, hunkered down with the ball in my half. But Ben's got a couple of pretty tasty blitz options, I think. And as we discussed
pretty tricky though
earlier, Ben is... No, that's not true actually. Oh, I thought you were going for the bear blitz, man.
Oh, it nearly did, but I think I've got better options for that.
Yeah, big guy blitz. Even though we've recorded many games on YouTube where I've said the words big guy blitz followed by a 1. Like, it's still just, still so great. There's nothing better than running around with a Minotaur. Like, even if it is a mercenary Minotaur now.
Yeah.
Ian was talking about the rat ogre earlier, and how animal savagery is just way better than it used to be versus wild animal. Oh, we got a blitz. It's the werewolf.
Nah, sorry, not yet. Sorry, I'm being tentative.
It's not
very
werewolf.
tentative.
Okay. Now I'm going to play with the telestrator for a second here, Ben, because I can.
Okay.
So Ben has got a werebear here. A werebear here that's activated, and a werebear here that is tagged in place by this poor fellow, Anna. Anna, probably not going to live long, but thank you for your service. So, also managing to take 2 players out has been very lucky for the Nobility team here. And they are gone as well. It's a blitz. It's from the werewolf all the way around. Hits the dude. I am going to use Fend. I don't think it matters too much. So my guy goes down. Ben can now follow up. He's still got 2 squares of movement, so he can tag next to the ball carrier. There we go. But the blitz is moved, but the ball carrier is very much tagged in place now. Goes for a cheeky dodge with a lineman. Gets it on a 2+. Looks to be setting up a 2-die frenzy block with werewolves. Swings the other wolf around to tag the Fend human next door to the bear. And cheeky little jump up move there, pin to the sideline. It's a 2-die block here from the werewolf. It's pow push. I am going to use Fend. Let's keep... Oh, he is dead. Oh, the move 5 guy finally died. I did say he wasn't going to live.
He did.
I feel bad. But, you know, we talked about it right at the beginning. Those guys go on the line to die. And we've got another Fend block here. Oh, that's the wrong screen. That's hilarious. No, let's allow you to follow up with the werebear. I think it's important that we... Oh, he's badly hurt as well. There we go. It's removal time. So we're 2 apiece now. Badly hurt and a killed. And a badly hurt and a miss next game. So gets the first dodge with the little dude and runs around there to try and swarm. My haphazard guy, but fails a dodge up here with the werecat. Okay, so I've now got some options. The first thing we're going to do is stand up. We're going to prepare for the failure of everything. So let's move you into there. He's not going anywhere because he's in contact with the werebear. And then this guy here potentially needs to be there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hand off. That's fine, we can do that. So we are going to try a risky maneuver here. Gets the dodge. I'm going to swing up. take a cheeky sure feet move. Hand off to this guy. That's good. Have we blitzy blitzed? We have not. Let's say goodbye to him. He's gone, broken up.
Minus edge.
Oh, dude, sorry. It's all going on here.
Alright. Get rid of him.
Get rid of him. I actually don't get rid of my guys anymore. I know I should. Like, I really legitimately know that I should. But I tend to keep them. I know it affects your TV, but I feel like a busted stat is... Let's swing him around and tag that guy in place. So...
Oh, there's a reason I didn't really give them names, and that's because I didn't want to get too attached.
Yeah, strength 2, armor 7 pieces. You don't want to get too attached. I don't know. Let's talk about naming players then. Do you, like, when do you name a player? Do you name all your players on tabletop, or do you just randomly generate their names?
I name every tabletop player. I rarely do it on FUMBBL. Just I'm not sure. I'm not sure why.
They're more real on the tabletop. Like, I know literally physically.
Yeah.
But you put more effort into them.
There's no like auto generation. No, I'm kidding. That's not the real reason. You can auto generate the names, but I do tend to think about the names more on tabletop for sure.
It's always pun names. Okay, so we've set up a little side cage on Ben's half of the pitch here. It's Ben's turn 7. 2-die block with the bear. We're going to fend. It's a pow. He's down. Armor holds though. So old Jace Lumbar. The guards stand firm, grab, mighty blow, thick skull, really stupid werebear, punches face, and poor Everett survives. But what Ben has done there is freed up a werewolf. Oh, really stupid on the other werebear, but it was in the open. And with only movement 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it wouldn't have made a massive contribution. So left active, Ben has got 2 unattached werewolves, and now a successfully dodged out werecat. Dodged out werecat. Okay, so moved up and tagged one corner of my cage. Takes a dodge roll here with another werecat. Gets the dodge. Ben is contemplating a couple of go for it's, I think, to tag the other edge of the cage. With both those sides of the cage tagged, a werewolf blitz would be 2 dice. But it's about whether or not he risks the extra go for it. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's the guard. Doesn't really make a difference.
Guard is great.
It really is. Really good skill. Although, no, this works. This works.
Yeah, I wondered if you'd see that. Oh, okay. Do I want to use stand firm? Yes, please. Pow, pow. Let's use stand firm. He's down.
That was weird.
Did you just get to...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to know it's because stand firm results in another frenzy block. That was why.
Because it's a push.
Yeah, it looked like a free reroll. I was just like, what the hell happened to my dice?
Yeah, it definitely does look that way.
And yeah, I totally forgot about stand firm again. That's annoying. It's good. It's good against frenzy.
Well, that's what I thought going into Ian's game, and then Juggernaut just wrecks me. Alright, so we've got both down here. This is Santiago, who has got block. Let's wrestle him down. Now, the great thing about the wrestle skill is if they don't have block, you can use it to force a turnover if you really want their turn to end. In this situation, wasn't that fussed. So, alright, so what we have got here, the side cage is okay, but it's definitely under a lot of pressure. This is my turn 7, so I've got 2 turns left to go. So all I need to do is just keep the ball safe. And I really, genuinely, legitimately can't see a particularly brilliant way to do that. Or can I? Right, let's stand you up. And let's do a thing. Let's put you there. You're alive. Let's put you there. Then... let's tag your face. Leave the werebears open. Do we go for a cheeky block first? Yeah, I've got to reroll on a skill. Ooh, no. Go for this guy. Drop him there and follow up. Okay, so punched a werecat to the ground. That's okay. Now we've got a couple of options. I can either run down the pitch. You know what? I probably should run down the pitch. With this guy. Now you are going to get a blitz against me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can go for a cheeky side cage, but it is not going to be a good time. Or I can go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you know what? It's just all bad forever, really, isn't it? So I might as well take less dice. Because dice are bad. Do I just run away? I think I'm gonna. I think I'm just going to run away and let you roll the dice, Ben. Your turn 8.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Got some guard penning in the werewolves. I think you can get a pretty easy 2-die up block. Man, this is a good game. It was nice, actually. I think Milton randomly put it in the chat earlier. He was like, man, Blood Bowl is so fun. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
It is fun. Yeah.
It's a horribly frustrating and complicated game, but man. Nowhere else would you get a team of werewolves and werecats taking on poshos.
So true.
Right, so it's Ben's turn 8.
So many just like safe things to do, but like a dice just screws me and gets you a touchdown.
There's no such thing as a safe thing in Blood Bowl.
Yeah, right.
As I think we've both seen here with a couple of double ones and a couple of double skulls. Ooh, the werebear's getting in the brawl though. Adding that guard.
Right, let's try this.
Okay, it's a blitz. Gets the dodge out with a werecat. Goes for the 2-die up. Oh, and absolutely nails it.
Smashed it.
I'm going to use stand firm though. But, 2 go for it to get that ball now, Ben.
You'd use 1.
Oh, okay, just tagged the ball there. Okay, so it's a pass action from a werewolf.
I can probably... that's not good either. The players I got. This one could come around. Oh gosh, God. Ugh.
I agree.
That out. We can get. You'll know better. Would be better. Okay, let's at least try this. No, we had dodge as well.
Get the double 1 dodge, Ben. That's absolutely brutal. Okay, let's try this. Push is fine. And we'll finish the move there. And let's just see what we can do. Gets the ball.
Yeah.
And swings it.
Crazy good.
And swings it. There we go. So that goes into the second half. We're going to take a very quick break. And we'll be back with the second half. And we're back, and it's going into the second half now. And Ben is going to be kicking to me. We've both got a few players out. So Ben's kick guy is out. Missed next game on a blodge. Wolf and a werecat got edge busted. And I have got Anna out for this game. And my movement 5 guy is now dead. So I feel like that's my fault, because the thing about around about turn 3 or 4, I was like, not had very many removals this game, and then carnage ensued. Alright, so looking at
Yeah, no, it's been going good.
quite a depleted backfield
Taking out my
here.
kicker as well, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, okay, this is it. I've got 2 out, but because I went on a splurging spree and bought a bunch of linemen, I actually have 11 players now, which is great fun. So, what do we got? We've got Blodge down this side, heavy on that side. So Ben's gone heavy on the right. What can I do here to punch that bear in the face? I feel like that might be a plan. Can I get a lot of assists? Not really. So how do we do this then? Do we just sacrifice a lineman? I think we do just sacrifice lineman. Yeah. Maybe we chuck guard there. Take a block. Strength 3. You can go there, that's fine. Right. Let's go you on the sideline. You there as well. Guard. Guard. You can go wide up here. I think it's probably... no, I need him there. Lineman down here and throw it in the backfield. Alright, let's go for that. I tend to play a little bit too aggressively. But...
okay, and sadly I was looking forward to like a really big kick or something, but alas, your players had other plans. That's alright, I'll take that.
So, here's an interesting fact about me. I love military stuff. And in my past, I have written a game called Air Knights, which was 1200 scale aircraft game. Great fun. And a lot of that is about surface-to-air missiles. And I've done a lot of 3mm stuff. A lot of that is about surface-to-air missiles. My brother is called Sam, and yet my phone will still autocorrect the name Sam to SAM in capital letters. So I just told the night manager, I was like, don't worry, I'll be your Sam Gamgee. And it automatically corrected it to, don't worry, I'll be your surface-to-air missile Gamgee. I was like, okay, I might have a problem here. Okay, so reasonable kick there for Ben. I do have a chance to secure the ball though, and then enact my plan. 2 dice is fine. Let's follow up. So I've got my guard, stand firm piece there. Let's go for another block, and we will follow up. And I should be able to take another 2 dice here. Oh, that's bad. Both down. Had to use my reroll, but progressed the line a little bit. One Fen guy is now facing off against the bear, but that's basically always going to happen. All right, now the ball is the opposite side to my heavy cage, to my heavy flank. It's secured with 2 people, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and quick pass to one of my bodyguards. Now I want to use the bodyguards along the sideline. So if I want to get the ball to one of my blitzers, I'm going to have to then do a handoff. So I've got a choice of a good pass, then followed by a handoff, or a bad pass, then followed by a handoff, by a catch. So I think it's time to be reckless. Let's do this. Let's go pass action. 1, 2, 3, get the ball. 4, 5, 6, pick up sticks. Now if this guy was accurate, he'd be passing on a 3+, but he's not, because Ian just went and killed him because he's a terrible person. You know what, we'll go for it. Nope, dropped it. But you know what, a 1 fails anything anyway. And it's landed in 1 tackle zone, and I've got a fend stand firm lineup in front of it, except for the loose team on the bottom there. That could be very, very costly for me. Got greedy. If I'd gone for the 3+ pass, I would have made it, you know. But then the next roll would have been a 1, and it would have been a failed catch, so can't be helped. The bear swoops in and tags my leader thrower, who failed the throw, so more of a carrier than a thrower. interesting enough. Oh, here's the 2-die blitz. It's pow push against my leader guy. He's down, and the werewolf is on the ball, fails to pick up, and the reroll. Ben, that is brutal luck. Absolutely garbage brutal luck, man. Okay. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do this. And then... And then... And then... And then... Let's go for a cheeky blitz here with WrestleMania. Has that guy got dodge? He's got dodge, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll push him to there, and I will follow up. Let's stand you firm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. I think the only logical thing to do here is to continue trying to pass the ball. Okay, so that is a 4+ pass. That is a 2+ go for it, and then it's still a 4+. How's it still a 4+ pass? Do me a favour. Oh, fine. Go for it, and then there you go. Bodyguard.
Nice.
Bodyguard can throw. Now the downside is that's now a stand firm piece that's out of action, so we're going to have to consider what we do here very, very carefully. I think we're going to do this. And then bring old Guardylocks up here. And then move this dude to there and tag up in support. Then I'm going to have to be very careful with my blocks. Werewolf there looks like he's going to be pretty happy to be free. Oh gosh. Let's stand the leader guy up and just add an extra tackle zone on that werewolf. How do we control this situation so that it doesn't go terribly wrong? This block here, 2 dice. Push there. Follow. This block is 1 dice. We don't want to do that. That's 1 dice as well. So should... Ooh, 1 dice on the werewolf. Both down. Take the wrestle. There we go. Now I've got 1 dice on this guy. Pow is tasty. Let's follow you up. And I think... Who have I missed? Oh yeah, that guy who's in contact with the bear. Do we... Yeah, let's go for it. Hey, we did it. Alright, tag that werewolf in place. Let's go for that. We ran very hot there and took about 17 go for it and didn't get punished. So, thank you, Nuffle.
Yeah, there's not a huge amount I can do here. I can try this.
Gets the dodge. Ben's moving one of his werecats back all the way around. Takes a go for it to tag the ball carrier. And it's a blitz with the werewolf. Gets the first dodge all the way around. It's a go for it. It's a 2-die block, both down and skull.
Both have block.
Is it reroll time? It's reroll pushback skull. But it is frenzy time, so you will have the opportunity for another. Oh no, did you run out of movement?
No. Yes, yeah, I think I did.
Okay. Okay. Still, ball carrier is now in 2 tackle zones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 tackle zones. That movement 7 edge 4 doing a lot of work there. It's werebear time, 2-die block, push back, and push pow on my leader guy, and the leader guy is now stunned. So the good thing about my thrower being killed is I can now name the new one. But what this is game 6 of 9 now, Ben?
Yeah.
Ooh, really stupid on the werebear. Power push, 1-die block, will take the stand firm, drops him down. Still doesn't break the armor even with claw. Werecat taking a run for it around the edge. That is going to be a very solid maneuver there. Takes the go for it to really tie up my ball carrier. And do a very good job. Okay, so we need to prepare for failure. So we're going to move up the bodyguard. And let's move up this guy. If we tag him there, I think we get most things in place. Now, I can do this. Take a cheeky go for it to get a guard in place. Talking of guard in place, let's stand that guard up. We've got some dudes there. I'm probably going to leave that guard down there on the ground because if this goes wrong, I don't want you to have the opportunity to just murder his face. And then we are going to go for this. If that goes wrong, I end up there. If that goes wrong, he ends up there. I don't have a good block. If that goes wrong, I end up there. I don't have a good block either. So this has to go right, but I can prepare for failure.
No, that sounds right.
That does okay. Follow up. And here's KO. Well, I actually blocked instead of blitzed, so that's on me.
Oh. Oh no.
That's on me. That's going to give a very good chance to do some good things here. Okay, that's fine. Don't tilt. These things happen. So what I can do is take a good block on this werewolf and drop him down there to just kind of add a bit of protection. I've got 2-die block follow up there at some point. Now that werewolf is tagged at the moment, but it's only a cheeky blitz. It's only a cheeky... Right, what I can do then is this. Take 2 dice on the werecat. Then I can push my ball carrier a little bit further away. Leave him in position with the werewolf. So you can still blitz him. You can blitz him all day long. That's fine. Alright. Now I can do this actually. We're going to stand at the guard guy and take a 2-die block on your werewolf. And follow up. Just get in the bear's face. And we'll take a free 2-die block on this were dude. And we'll follow up there as well. So. Would have been a lot better if I'd gone with the blitz instead of the block. But that is the danger of fumble. I mean, that's my fault. I may even already blitzed, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure. So that does mean that Ben's got a lot of options here to stop this touchdown. Including, essentially, a 3+ 2-die frenzy blitz. There's only so many times my blodge is going to keep me alive as well. There's the werecat gone in there to position around that blocker. Around my blitzer, sorry. And the werecat takes another dodge to get in front of the blitzer so that if this blitz goes wrong... There we go. And the werewolf is coming now. Took the dodge out. Got a 5. Here's the blitz. 2 dice, both down. Pow push. So 2 dice and up. I choose now. So both of these don't really matter. So... Both got block, and I've got dodge. Where are your guys? This is actually going to be better for me, I think, to stay in place. And that's the bear moving around my lineman. 2 dice block, both down and push back. If you had brawler, you could re-roll that dice. And it would essentially be then a 3-die block. So Ben's moving his werewolf now to help support emotionally his other werebear. Who is potentially...
probably should have blocked him in. I'll do this instead. Yeah, whoops. I'll just do that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you could have done much anyway. But
no, moving
yeah,
4 is not great. Okay, so I have got a 2-die block. I can't get any more dice than that, so let us try it. Push is enough. Follow up the block. I'm not going to do anything else except take it in for the cheeky TD.
Very good. This is a mauling.
The Nobility team are considerably outperforming themselves. Alright, I think we've got a reasonable couple of setup formations here now. These guys, that guard is coming in really handy. in this, because this match is a bit more of a fair fight than the other ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
What was your prediction again?
2-0 to you.
There's still time.
Yeah, you've got the right amount of touchdowns so far. You said it'd be 2-1. I don't feel like it's. I mean, I would say this, but I feel like it's. You've had a bit more luck, a bit less luck. I think you've had a couple of real brutal failures.
Yeah, the one like crucial ones. That,
yeah,
you know,
those linchpin moments have been pretty brutal. I mean, clearly the wrong thrower got murdered on my team, but that's okay. All right, my noble blitzer is 1 SPP away from actually becoming and getting a skill. 7 guard. Oh, he's going to town, this guy. All right, the ball, please. Cheering fans, you get a reroll.
Ah, that helps.
And it's quite a short kick. So turn 4 of the second half, Ben's receiving. Man, that ball landed real close to the line. It's actually 1 square away from the line of scrimmage, next door to a bear, so it's already protected. I don't imagine this is going to be a long couple of turns, as we've both got a couple of players out. And it's going to be down to Ben to determine whether he's going to go for the free blocks. Now the ball is kind of protected. Now, when you've got so many werewolves, you do have a chance to kind of spread. It's gone very quiet on Ben's end. No, it's okay.
Yeah,
He's
sorry,
okay.
I'm having a big old think.
Given the tech issues we come up with, I'm starting to worry. It's like, oh,
no, yeah.
All right.
I think I'm going to go for a bold play. I think it's what I need. And I need the reroll to do it. So I don't want to do one of those. I want to do one of the...
It's going to be a handoff. Gets the ball, moves back, hands off to another werecat.
Okay, that's good.
Is it going to be a werewolf side cage here? So Ben has now got a werecat with the ball, 2 squares behind the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 werewolves 2 squares away and a werebear in contact with a fend lineman. Alright, the werecat is off. He's now moved 5 squares into the opponent's half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares away from the end zone, which is simply a 1 go for it. So 1 werewolf has moved up to form a side cage, and it's bear time. Pow push both down is going to be enough to free up the werebear. Yeah, I'm going to fend, keep your bear in place, and the other werewolf is going to be able to successfully form shield wall against it. The other werebear is going to go to town, push back both down, not enough. Fend keeps my guy. Oh, classically passed him on to the blocking werewolf, who drops him down, but armor breaks and it's a stun. Okay, so Ben has now formed a cage on the sideline. I think I can reliably blitz someone off the edge of the cage. So let's go put guard there to get me that roll. And what we're going to do is we are just going to chuck people in the way, because those tackle zones, you're going to have to go through them no matter what. So let's block both edges and we'll go for a blitz. Blitzer's gonna blitz, as they say. Let's go at an angle. Hit that guy. So this is probably not enough. But I don't want to risk it. I think we're just going to pin him against the sideline. Now, with Frenzy, you're going to be able to do some manoeuvring there, but what I can do is stand firm you against the edge, which should be enough of an annoyance.
Or in other words, a total nightmare.
Right, so where's your angle? Your angle is blitzing through the front there. So let's fail a go for it and put him right in the way. Again, tackle zones are just going to be massive here. But I don't want to give up another flank. So there's not a huge amount I can really do about that. What I am going to do is bring you down to there, perhaps. And then bring old guard boy up to there and just play defense. So we've swarmed Ben's side cage.
Well, this is...
There's a lot of guard and a lot of stand firm and a lot of fend penning Ben's players in against the sideline. So each of the players is in 3 tackle zones, so any kind of handoff option is limited now as well. There we go. Werebear is going to go for a walk. Oh, and really stupid.
Didn't need that. Okay. You rolled, what was it, a 5 for your pass before?
Yeah, maybe. So you got edge 4, so that's a 2+ quick pass, minus, so 3+, 4+. It's a 4+ quick pass there. Not a lot of great options here.
I'm gonna risk this. That's good.
Goes for the block. Pow pushes my leader down. I'm assuming you get to choose where he goes. Oh. I think we might see a reversal here. Let's go to the telestrator.
I mean, it's not gonna be... It's not gonna go well. But if I roll a 6, it'll be spectacular. Let's do it.
Gets the first dodge, gets the second dodge, runs all the way round, goes for the pass, and makes it to the werewolf on the other side of the pitch. What an absolutely brilliant reversal. Now this werewolf has got a ton of movement. How far is this guy going to go?
Bodyguard.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Come on, Bears.
Oh, the Bears aren't working.
Leader in the game.
So
I can go there.
Superb running play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't get the blitz on him with my guard.
5, 6, 7, 1, 2. Yeah, I think he's safe. Now my other werewolf against that line isn't. So let's put him. Let's try that.
Push back and both down. Yeah, Fend is not great in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is my turn now, and we've got some stuff to do. So I need to stand up this guy, and I need to motor all the way over to the other side of the pitch. So we can't get a blitz on the ball carrier. What we can do is take a couple of go-for-its. Oh, fair to reroll. Got it. And just try and tag the werewolf in place. Alright, we've got an extra tackle zone on there now, so that's something. Now we need to move our catcher down to support. I've deployed too heavily to one side. Okay, now this guy's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movement. So I think the best thing to do will be to go blitz, get the werewolf gone. No,
Nice.
follow up. Knocked out. And let's go. Make the most of sure feet there. And then we run our team across. So let's tag you in place. Let's put a cheeky bit of guard on you. Run you across. Tag that dude. Run the old lineman across. In the way. Run sure stand firm man across to there. And then we'll try and keep this guy alive for a little bit longer. There we go. Let's go for that. Alright, so turn 6 for Ben. He has swapped his side cage literally from one side to the other in a single turn. Which is insane, actually. But still tagged in place now. Opening block is skull both down with the bear. Takes the reroll. Pow push is going to knock him down. Let's fend, keep him in place. He stays alive, but that is the reroll gone. It does open up a werecat to activate the other bear. Who activates and takes a go for it to tag the fend guy, which is going to give the werewolf 2 1-die frenzy blocks against the stand firm guard wrestle piece.
Just that stand firm is so good here.
The alternative is to do the same block against the fend piece.
Yeah.
But obviously that's blocking.
And that results in dodges and stuff.
There will be at least one dodge, followed by a whole lot of other dodges.
2 dodges as opposed to if I knock this guy down.
There's no dodges.
Yeah, well, it has to be a POW. On a 1-die. POW push did as a 3+ dodge, but I think that's still better. I think I'm going to risk it.
Oh, there's the POW. I am going to stand firm, so you're right, you're going to have to make 1 dodge.
Oh, no.
When he goes down, that is absolutely brutal. Oh, that is horrific. Oh, Ben. You're just not having the luck, man. Oh, that was brutal.
It's annoying that I wanted to free up the cat, so I had the bear to assist, so it would be the 1-die, otherwise it would be the 2-die.
I failed the pickup, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's actually still a chance.
Yeah, not great dice.
Potentially, I should have just secured the ball, but what I was going to do is move that guy in, run it up, hand off to the blitzer, who is then just going to run all the way across, cheeky quick pass to the leader guy, and then run up to the other side. I got greedy.
Well, I'm going to take the 3+. No, wait, a blitz is better here. I think? Hang on. Because it uses 2 movement, doesn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. No, I think it still might. Oh no, because if I follow up, it's going to be 2 uphill.
So Ben's got 2 choices. One is to take a dodge out with the werewolf on a 3+ into the ball square, and then pick up on a 4+, followed by another 3+ out. Or can go for a 1-die frenzy blitz against a stand firm wrestle piece.
Thanks for reminding me about wrestle.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Alright, he's going to go for glory here. The werewolf gets the first dodge and fails to pick up the ball. Man, that was absolutely
this is a
brutal.
funny game. I'm enjoying this.
Absolutely brutal. Right. Who needs... Okay. What can we do here? Let's move you down to secure the ball. This is the... You've got 1 turn after this?
I do.
Okay, so I need to not be overly stupid here then. Oof. Alright, that wasn't too bad. So the proper thing to do then, and the silly thing to do is this. Oh yeah, that was really silly. Although I can wrestle you down. And fail the pickup again.
Oh no. That's Butterfinger's ball.
It's not even raiding.
Yeah.
But I think that wrestle's put a ton of movement tax there. Oh no. Okay, dodging with a werecat up north. Oh.
Oh. What a way to end.
Oh, that was brutal. Hey, you can't do anything if you're going to roll ones.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought maybe is you could have taken a sideways blitz out with the werewolf, put him in the end zone, and then used that other werecat to just chuck him a quick pass. But rolling ones is never going to work.
Yeah.
Never ever going to work. Right.
What I was gonna do there is try and just blitz out and get on the ball with a 4+ pickup. But I think your shout would have been better. I mean, to be fair, either of them would have resulted in
exactly.
4+ rolls. Or
anything with a 1 is not good enough. Oh man, that was great fun. Thank you very much, Ben.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was good. I had that coming after the 5-0 win last week. So we're roller coaster.
We'll chat through the MVPs, and then I'd love to get your take on Nobility very quickly, man, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna bring up your team, Ben. Let's bring up your team. What did you get? Did you get any skills or any stat ups?
I did just get a skill. Yeah, I'm gonna roll it now. My other bear leveled up. That's cool.
So Jane.
Jane, yes, Jane and Jace. Okay. Oh, I got doubles.
Block.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Cheeky block. You can't go wrong with that. And let's have a look over at the Marienburg Minotaurs. Alright, my Dodge Sure Feet Blitzer leveled up. And so did one of my guard guys. So Sure Feet Blitzer got a 10. What does 10 give you? Oh my goodness.
Movement?
Yeah. Yeah, I think movement's going to be nice for that one because he's got sure feet. So he's now movement 8, 9, 10. Alright, that's pretty good. And the other guy was bodyguard, so Dawson's Creek gets a 3. Okay, Ben, so guard, bodyguards, they start with wrestle, stand firm, and guard. Is it the point that actually block becomes worthwhile? Is it mighty blow?
I think block is always handy. Block's going to help. Oh, actually, no, because you have wrestle.
I'm going to try block.
I don't know. You reckon? I'll give you an option.
I'm going to try it. I mean, because I'm with you. I think block and wrestle tend to be really redundant. But the bodyguards start with wrestle. And then actually, I feel like I do lack a bit of block. Like, going wrestle is a problem. I think leaving them with wrestle might be bad. So we'll try that. We'll go with that.
It's still useful against other block coaches, other block players, which this late in a league you will see quite a lot. And so you'll kind of be thankful you have wrestle, but then obviously, when you need it, sometimes they just need to be a body in the way, and
exactly
block is good for that. So.
All right, I'm just going to buy another lineman. I think I'm just going to be paying for linemen forever with this team, and that's okay. Because having those 2 extra linemen was really useful, and I'm glad I picked them up because I think that made the difference. Because I just had more bodies in the end. So, as it came to the game, let's have a quick look at the dice stats, because that's the best bit. 120 dice rolled by me to 169 rolled by you, Ben. 33. Total blocks, you made 46, which makes no surprise at all. 34 2-die blocks, dude.
Yeah, that's a fair amount.
All right.
I think that might have been more than I did against the Squigs.
Failed dodges, I think, was just the horrific. All right, you made 22 total dodges. You failed 5, which is fine. You failed 2 2+ dodges and 3 3+ dodges. I didn't fail a single dodge, so that's quite nice. That'll do it. And then go for it in true Ben form. 26 go for it. of which I failed 2.
Really? I did not even realise you're doing that many GFIs.
Yeah,
Wow.
man. There was one term where I took like 9. Yeah, this is where this might be where I go wrong. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, and I push it, and I'll push it, and I push it. If you watch the Dwarf versus Halfling game I did on YouTube against Ian, no, Dwarf versus Goblin game, the dwarves were motoring around. Like the runners were going like 8 squares a turn. The linemen were everywhere. Like it was like chucking nos on a dwarf team. It was just I think that might be what the guys were trying to tell me in the group chat today. But
This is FUMBBL though. This is like, if you did this in person, I think I'd get you checked out. Like you're just constantly rolling these D6s.
Yeah, you have to check my dice out. Yeah, 36 blocks against 29. So it wasn't that lopsided. 10 SPP, 22 SPP, 36 squares rushing. Man, that was really good fun. Thank you for the match, Ben.
That was good fun. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. It was a real really brutal. I can't use, like, it was difficult to use the standard tactics I've learnt to try with Ware and like the sort of standard plays, because stand firm and fend really does play around with frenzy. Though I mentioned that in the chat when we were playing, and Ian was just like, does it? I found it fine with his slayers.
That's because he's got Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut helps a lot.
So I didn't have stand firm, so he literally surfed 2 of my players because I was like, I own the sidelines. I've got stand firm. This is fine. I'm just going to go line up my guys. And then his slayers were just like straight for frenzy, Juggernaut. Just minced them off the pitch like it was awful. I may have overextended. So, playing against Nobility, Ben. What do you reckon?
Wow, that is a hard control team. I know we've been saying that before, but this feels like, I don't know, like the it's just control. It's like mid-range control, isn't it? It's like you really have you play it steady, you play it like tactically, position you guys right, and it's really hard to get in there.
You kind of, with this team, you've got to, I think control is bang on actually. You've got to let your opponent make the moves. So I tried to learn from some of my other matches. Now I'm sure there's some really bad play in there where I'm like, I'll push it. But that's just how I roll. But like there was a lot of positions where I'm like, actually, I'm gonna just chuck this in and let you choose which dice to roll. And that's the difference between, that's the thing with the control style, is letting your opponent make those dice can quickly benefit you. It puts the onus on them. But they're not slow, are they?
No, they not when you're doing 24 GFIs a game.
Right. It was 26 actually.
Not when you're succeeding 24 GFIs.
Yeah, I know. Well, one of my guys got sure feet, so I was using him to motor around.
Yeah.
Now he's got movement 8, which I feel like is very appropriate. So I've now got.
Yeah, I mean the elf speed really, the high elf speed. You got yours.
Yeah.
I guess humans better, isn't it? It's the standard speed. Weirdly fast. Like you don't expect them to be quick when you have movement 7 blitzers. They tend to just be enough. I think movement 7's that
movement 7 is the point.
You can do everything at movement 7.
Movement 7 is the point. I think.
Yeah.
But then again, movement 8 is just like infinite. I don't know, but I think you're right. I think we talked about this when we talked about orc blitzers, because you and Ian were very much like, take the extra movement 7 sweet. And I'm like, I'd rather, what a waste. I'd rather go from 7 to 8 because 8 is sweet, but actually 7 is plenty. Like 7 is real motoring. And I got incredibly lucky with a bunch of die rolls, and you got cursed with a couple of yours. But I love the Ware team, and it was really fun to play the Ware team against a new official team that I feel like's a bit underjuiced, but it's just about allowing the dice to fall. Sometimes it works out for the Nobility, sometimes it doesn't. Having spare fend linemen was awesome. So glad.
Yeah. And I think these teams are pretty balanced. I think they are. I think it was a real dice game. I think the game itself was actually pretty balanced. Like I managed to pull off some other things, like that passing thing. If I just rolled a single die, it would have been fine. That's Blood Bowl, isn't it? So I think I do think they're actually quite evenly matched, I'd say. In a different game, it was
felt
probably,
like a close game.
Gone 3-0 the other way. So
it felt like a close game. I got slightly luckier on the bell curve. But no, brilliant. Right, well, I think we should probably wrap up the show then, Ben. Is there anything else you want to add today?
No, that was good fun. Thanks for the game.
It was awesome, man. It was nice to hang out, play some Blood Bowl, and just talk nonsense. It's always useful.
Yeah, definitely.
Needed that, and have a little beer. Anyway, guys, thank you ever so much for joining us. Let us know. Thank you if you bothered to watch the whole game or listen to the whole game. Probably didn't come across very well in an audio format, but hey, if you're driving somewhere, it's always fun to listen to people suffer playing Blood Bowl. Hopefully you found it entertaining. Do let us know. Otherwise, we are going to disappear, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks with more Blood Bowl nonsense. Drop us a line if you want to know anything. Otherwise, I will see you later. Ben, I will see you later.
See you later.
See you later, guys.